Hey, what do you say? It is episode number 74 of the Run In podcast. My name is Tommy Paradise, and no DJ this week. DJ is he could be murdered at this point, and we won't know. He is away with his new lady friend in the woods somewhere of California somewhere. So I have brought in the illustrious from the DACALLUP podcast, Kenny. What's up, man? We're going to do corrections on the fly here, huh?
I see that. It looks like it. So I really have to test out my brain and not use Google this time and be like, okay, wait a minute. I think I remember that type of thing, but it's good. You got the other black guy here, so it's okay.
That's right.
We still beat the quarter.
Yeah. Still, I said they're interchangeable. I got to bring in another black guy to keep the show going here. So, and not a black guy, but friend of the show. We also got Mike Lanham back with us here once again. What's up, Mike?
Thoughts and prayers to DJ, who might be lost in the woods.
R.I.P. DJ. We'll take good care of you.
Sad day. I already told him I claimed that yellow icy title on the wall.
We'll go clean out his apartment together and fuck with the garage door opener.
We'll all pour out some proper 12 in remembrance.
That's right.
I remember that episode. I think I told you that I was listening to it and I was looking around my car thinking that there was something wrong with my car because I kept hearing that buzzing sound.
Oh, man. That guy opened the garage like 17 times during our show. Fucking asshole. Anyway, it is the Run In podcast. It is brought to you by Figure Collections. Make sure you check out figurecollections.com/shop. Use the code RUN10 for 10% off the Chella Toy Retros. That Big Daddy Chella Retro is up there. And I know I keep teasing it, but there is some big news coming. I think around Thanksgiving, the next one is going to be announced. And then part 3 of the history of the BCAs is up on his YouTube channel. It is youtube.com/Figure Collections. Couple quick housekeeping things. We've mentioned it before. Blitzkrieg Pro is coming back to Enfield, Connecticut with a barn burner of a show. We are proud to be sponsoring that shiz. December 4th, it is Market Zero. We've got Rachel Ellering taking on Skylar. We've got Travis Huckabee taking on Carlos Romo, which this show should be on Twitch. If you have not watched one of their shows on Twitch, I highly suggest it, especially this Travis Huckabee match. He can go. Dan Housen, Max Caster, Matt Rewalt, formerly known as Aiden English, Smart Mark Sterling, all going to be there. Tickets are on sale now. Go to blitzkriegpro.net. Dan Housen will be doing a meet and greet, not wrestling, obviously, but he will be doing a good old meet and greet. Kenny, you should drive up for this one, man. It's not too far.
You know what? I actually have a date with my wife that night.
Oh,
yeah.
That's marriage, man. Planning out dates like 3 weeks ahead of time.
I'm going to my cousin's baby shower during the day, and then my wife was just like, "Oh, since we don't have the kids, maybe we can go out on a date in the city." And I was like, yeah, that's cool. I was just gonna stay home and watch Blitzkrieg Pro anyway. So
now you just got to go out to eat and watch it on the phone.
Yeah,
basically in the city.
That's the show with the if you bring a toy, you get a Max Caster 8x10 or something. Yeah, that's correct. That's a good deal.
Absolutely. I'm gonna do it, and we'll slip that into our giveaways here because I already have a couple 8x10 signed by him. Luckily, but speaking of charity, we are doing a toy drive with the Fig Cave. Head over to thefigcave.com for all the details on where to donate your toys. Basically, you're just going to send them right to Phil's house. So if you want to pull a prank, you can also go to bagadicks.com and send Phil a bag of dicks.
I was thinking about that.
I'm not encouraging that, but I will not. I am encouraging it, I guess. Fuck it. Do it. Let's
see how long it takes him to hear this episode.
That's what he gets for waiting so long for to go open a PO box before the holidays. So
I still love you, Phil.
Yeah, I do too, Phil. I'm sorry. We're also working with Gay Mark Podcast to raise some money for St. Jude. You can head over to gaymarkspod.com and get all the info on that. They got some awesome prizes up for grabs for for donating. And last I looked, so far they've raised $1,055. They've got till January 1st to reach their goal of $3,000. So if you can, head over to GameMarksPod.com and make a donation and help out some kids over at St. Jude. The Run-In Podcast, we got a brand new watch along with Mike and Phil and DJ. He's gone, and I already forgot.
He's gone. Already forgotten.
This is that was like a straight corporate move, you know, when they say like you kill yourself for the job. The minute you leave, your job will replace you.
Yeah, you guys are as Tom Brady to Drew Bledsoe. He's Drew Bledsoe. He's got some internal bleeding. He could have some, external bleeding. We don't know what the hell's going on. I messaged him today to try to get his Survivor Series picks. I got no answer. So he literally.
Well,
I really hope nothing
happens. He's out in the woods. He has a get out.
Hopefully, he's
moment.
just getting laid.
I hope so.
But definitely check out that watch along. We watched 1991 Survivor Series and didn't realize how bad it was until we started watching it, and we didn't make it through the whole thing. Spoiler alert! So it was that bad. It was that bad that we didn't make it through the whole thing. Make sure you check out runinpod.com. All our discount codes are up there. Some big changes coming around the first of the year for that website as well. You can follow us along on Twitch, twitch.tv/the Run-In Podcast. Our YouTube is all up to date. Speaking of the YouTube and the watch along, WWE blocked us from posting that watch along on YouTube, unfortunately. So there's only an audio version of it right now. I'm looking into other ways to get the video version up there because it's kind of cool to watch us react to the video while it's on the screen. I think that's a cool element. So we'll figure that out. And Black Friday is right around the corner. Our Pro Wrestling Tees store has some new stuff added, new shirts and new hoodies. ProWrestlingTees.com/runinpod starts Tuesday. The Black Friday sale starts Tuesday. Kenny, you got to pimp out your store as well, man.
Of course. So you can go to Pro Wrestling Tees. Go check out the Call Up Podcast page. Still have a couple of shirts up there as well. Got the Fig Life shirt and obviously the Call Up logo shirt as well. Actually got a couple of sales this week, which is actually pretty good.
Nice. Yeah, you're always a little surprised when you see those emails. Like, oh, who's ordering shit? Who is it? But yeah, we got the hoodies. Card. What's that? Yeah, you got to send them a thank you card. Or a bag of dicks, whatever.
Either one. Or both.
Grab some stuff from us. Grab some stuff from Kenny on the ProWrestlingTees.com Black Friday sale. And Kenny, we had no Kenny's Corrections last week.
No, yeah, you guys actually did pretty well.
We're going to have the Kenny's Corrections live and in person today as we go through the show, which I'm sure there'll be a few.
Charles or Angels is going to listen to this.
Dude, he's chomping at the bit today. He's sending me ideas for the top 5, and we might have to hire him as a producer or something.
There you go.
Speaking of top 5, I have a bone to pick from last week.
Okay, let's do it.
You guys left off Peyton Manning for the top 5 list. Him leaving Indy and then going to 2 Super Bowls and winning one with Denver.
Oh, that is a good point.
And Indy, I mean, they had Andrew Luck. They thought he was the next Peyton Manning, and that didn't work out too well in the end. So they'll always regret letting Peyton leave. As a Colts fan, that one hurts.
That's a good point. We forgot that. It's probably because I mentioned someone who's better in Tom Brady. I've got the Rays energy drink flowing tonight. I've got berries and cream, one of their new flavors. Actually, I just took the first sip of it. It's pretty good, actually.
Okay.
As far as like berry flavored energy drinks go, this is probably the best one I've ever had, to be honest with you. It's pretty good. I'm gonna suck that baby down. How's the Frankensour one, Kenny?
It was okay. It's not something that I would order again. I know it was only a special for Halloween.
Yeah.
But yeah, like once I finished it, that was it. I was just like, all right, I spent the money on it. That's why I kept drinking it, but I got to try other flavors that they have. Yeah,
I'm telling you, man, the South Beach one is really good. The Baja Lime one is super good. Voodoo is really good. Apollo is really good. Those are like their main flavors. They're always really good. Kenny, you drinking anything tonight? I see you're at work. It looks like water.
Yep, just water, unfortunately.
Same for you, Michael?
Always.
Always.
Almost always.
All right. We're a couple sober squares here tonight. That's all right. It's nothing wrong with that. Lots of wrestling to talk about. Let's do it. Let's get in the ring. In the Ring is brought to you by Buy, Sell, Trade Toys. He's over on Instagram and Twitter. You can use the code RUN10 to save 10% at checkout. He is posting a lot of stuff up on his site. Kenny, I know you're friends with him as well.
Mm-hmm.
And he is just posting. He's probably trying to grab himself some extra dough for the holidays, but with 2 kids. But yeah, he is posting some fire on his Instagram, and you can save 10% by using our code RUN10 at checkout. So make sure you do that. A lot of current stuff he's got up there too. So
he's always bringing the heat.
He is a hustler. He is hustling, and not in a bad way. He's hustling to get you guys the deals. So definitely check that out. All right. So we had Full Gear this past week. We'll get right into it. I was pleasantly surprised by this pay-per-view. Took it in. I talked about it last week on the show. I wasn't like super excited for it. I was just kind of like, if I have the time, I'll watch it. If not, oh well, and I'll catch up on the results and stuff. But I'm really glad that I watched it. I thought top to bottom, it was a pretty solid pay-per-view. What'd you guys think?
Let Mike go first.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same camp as you. So, yeah, top to bottom, really good card. I mean, AEW doesn't. I mean, I can only think of one of their pay-per-views that we were kind of afterwards like, Most of the time, I guess when they do such few shows, like the 4 or 5 a year, they're usually pretty top notch. I hate that Tony Khan came out and said they're all going to be basically 4 hours because those pay-per-views sometimes seem to drag. But the pace of this one was pretty good, kind of mainly what you expected. But the way the matches flowed and the outcome, they did a pretty good job. So and it leads just into the next night or the next show with Dynamite tonight. So.
Yeah, I mean, before they, I know a lot of people had a problem before with the $50 price, but like I guess that was like when we was going through the whole pandemic era. Now they're just like, I think it's worth the $50, especially when I went in person. I was like, yeah, if this is a pay-per-view, if I was watching it at home, I would have paid the $50 for it.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. Like I said, I didn't pay the $50 for it. I broke some rules, but whatever. I'm not the only one.
Well, I think we all
and
do.
It's probably why my internet wasn't working the other night when we were doing the watch along. I got in trouble, but no, I honestly I had it on my laptop while I was playing PlayStation, and like I kept pausing my game and catching myself literally in it. I just thought the whole thing top to bottom was good. Obviously, you guys know we got a title change. Hangman Page is your world champion. Congratulations to him. Very, very well earned. The only match actually I did miss. And I said I wasn't going to watch this, and I didn't do it on purpose. But the Minneapolis street fight, I legitimately I don't know what happened. I just tuned out during that. I wasn't paying attention. I was in the bathroom, not for the whole match because it was a 20-minute match, but just doing other stuff, straightening up the house and stuff like that while it was on. I just wasn't invested in that match. But everything else, even the Christian Cage and Jurassic Express match, I was with the Super Click against the Super Click. I was super into once it started. And you got to say you got to tip your hats to Britt Baker and my girl Ty Connie. She killed it. Ty Connie is here for real.
I mean, they had a couple of spots here and there that could have been fixed, but besides that, I thought the match was pretty good. It showed why Ty Conti has been improving from in her in ring from being in NXT and then moving on to AEW and showing that she can actually go with other people and obviously Britt Baker, she's been hustling ever since she's gotten that top spot. So. I could see these two going at it again.
Absolutely, and I'm all here for it. Sorry, Mike,
hopefully that Ty Conti, just her look that night with the flag and the paint, the face paint and stuff. So that could be a good, maybe her second AEW figure. That would be a good toyetic look for her. So she looked good. The match was good. I mean, she always looks good, but the match was good. Like Kenny said, there was a couple little slip ups and stuff, but that happens. I mean, you got that crowd going, bigger crowd than normal. Title match, first title match like that. So, and there were definitely spots where you thought maybe Britt was going to drop the belt. So,
yeah, like legitimately, like not just like, oh, this is for show. Like legitimately, like, is she going to do this?
Yeah,
is she going to do this?
Yeah.
I thought the MJF and Darby Allin match was super good.
it's a good
we'll
way to start the show.
Oh yeah,
yeah, absolutely. Bryan Danielson and Miro, they freaking killed it. Thought Miro was gonna. I'm getting a little I don't want to say frustrated, but like I've said it on the show here before, where like my hope with Miro was like, okay, you dropped the TNT title, now let's go to the next level, and then he loses to Bryan Danielson, which is tough too, because it's like, well, he's a name, and you want to have Adam Page going up against the name, but it's like, what is next for Miro? What's next? What else can he do? He's in the same spot, I feel like he was in WWE.
Yeah, he should be dominating like that whole, like outside of maybe winning the belt. Like when they first brought him in, he was beating guys in like mere seconds, but it was like no-name guys or guys that are like half the size, like Orange Cassidy and stuff like that.
Yeah,
exactly.
So yeah, he should be fighting guys like Brian Cage whenever he comes back, or Hobbs, stuff like that, but just showing how good he can be. So I almost wonder with that loss if maybe we're going to see, not a repackage of Miro, but like they did so well with these promos building up to this match, and then he loses. But it's one of those things you couldn't have either one of them feel like if Bryan Danielson loses that quickly, CM Punk loses that quickly. There's just so many people on the roster that they have to put over. So,
yeah.
What did you guys? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Kenny. We're working on this 3-man booth here.
For me, I was really excited to see this match, and then when they finally got into the ring, it felt more WWE than an AEW match. Like I've seen Bryan Danielson go off and like show his indie style before he went to WWE, and like I was just like, okay, like this is gonna be a good match. It's gonna be hard hitting, and it really wasn't. It was more of like really safe, for both guys, and obviously you got Bryan Danielson now as the number one contender, and Mike is right. It's like, what is next for Miro? I wish he would have kept the TNT title, moved to TBS, and just be dominant there.
Yeah,
because if he had the belt and he had lost to Daniel, it wouldn't have been, to me, as I don't say devastating, but as big of a mark on his record. Because now, how do you put him back in the title picture anytime soon? Who does he really fight next that isn't just like, I don't know, like a lower tier type talent, mid tier talent? So
yeah,
I guess it depends on if they sign any more people with all these contracts coming up soon. More people that are going to get brought in and shuffled around, and you're taking people's time away from TV. So I like Miro. So
I love Miro. I always have. I just wish they did more for him. WWE and AEW.
See, and I'm afraid they're gonna sign Lana. They're gonna put her with him. I think all that'll happen within the next 6 months. Wouldn't surprise me.
That wouldn't surprise me either.
Yeah.
But I mean, she was a good mouthpiece for him in the beginning. She was great on the mic when he first came into WWE.
Yeah, but you played him off that he didn't speak English. And
like he doesn't need it in AEW.
No, he's so good. His promos have been fire lately.
Yeah. What'd you guys think of Eddie Kingston and CM Punk? Kenny, I'll let you go first on this one.
Oh my God.
Dropped his head. He was like waiting for that one.
Yes, because that match was from beginning. First of all, the build leading into that was really short, but it was so good. I'm a big Eddie Kingston fan. I know some people don't like him, but I thought like he's so real. Like I'm from New York, he's from Yonkers. We're like freaking neighbors to each other. It's like hanging out with one of my friends outside in the street. Like back in the day, like that's the type of person Eddie Kingston is. So like to see this match between him and Punk, I think he brought out more of like Punk's old side in this match here.
Yeah, it was. I'm not a huge Eddie Kingston guy, but I thought this match was was great. Mike, what were your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I'm not a big Eddie Kingston guy either. Like the way they built the match to the little time that they had for it, it was good. It was more of a brawl for the most part than a match, which was smart to do it that way. And you could continue that, but AEW doesn't really do that. Like a match happens and you move on to the next thing. There aren't a lot of rematches. They don't have, I don't want to say long-term rivalries because we know they've had them with Moxley and Kenny and stuff like that too. But according to my records, though, a guy named Tommy Paradise and DJ both picked Eddie Kingston to win this match. I can't believe you guys thought CM Punk was losing.
Yeah, we did. We did.
I thought they were going to give him his first loss.
I just can't see it. Not anytime soon. But after tonight, we'll get there maybe. But we'll see what they're going to do with CM Punk here in the future.
Oh, we'll get there. We'll get there. Yeah, I just thought it was overall, like I said, this that pay-per-view back in what was it, March, with the death match with Omega and Moxley. I forgot the name of it. This is where you come in for a live correction, Kenny.
I know, right? And I truly forgot the name because I'm not too, like, in my AEW history is not the best.
It's like Full Gear, All Out. What was the fucking one with the death match?
I gotta like type it in while you keep talking here.
Yeah. Look, did Mike freeze?
I hope not.
That is terrifying. The way he's frozen on the screen. I don't know if you guys can see that if you're watching along on YouTube, but that is terrifying the way Mike's frozen. Moving right along here. Yeah, what's up with Mike? Remove him from the stream there. All right.
He's not talking, so
or moving. What is happening? Oh, there he goes. He's gone. He'll come back. He'll pop back in like Phil. If you guys are just listening to the audio version of this, it is worth it to see how terrifying Mike looked on the YouTube stream. Just go check it out over at youtube.com/runninpodcast. Woo! All right, let's recover from that, man. I don't think there's anything else to talk about with Full Gear except our predictions that me and DJ went through. So I'll just run through them real quick, and we'll see which one is keeping the title or getting the title. Unless there's something you needed to add, Kenny, for Full Gear.
I thought the match itself was pretty good. You know, the pay-per-view itself was pretty good. I'm glad that Hangman Adam Page finally won the title. It gives Kenny Omega a break. He's been, wrestling hurt for like at least a year and a half now.
Yep.
So like he can get, take the time off to like heal his body up a little bit,
Revolution, by the way, is the pay-per-view. Thank you, Wikipedia. Now I have to go back to our Full Gear for our predictions. All right, so we'll go right down the line here. MJF and Darby Allin. I picked MJF. DJ picked Darby. Lucha Brothers and FTR. We didn't talk much about that match. Just a solid, respectable match, I think. Nothing crazy, though, but DJ picked Lucha. I picked FTR. We had Bryan Danielson and Miro. DJ picked Bryan. I picked Miro. Christian Cage and Jurassic Express defeated the Super Click. Where is that on our sheet here? We both picked Christian and Jurassic Express. And Mike is coming back into the picture. There's Mike, not DJ.
Shaking his head.
Dude, the way your internet froze, the picture that was on the screen for way too long, I thought you might have gotten murdered.
Nice.
You'll have to go back and watch the YouTube video. We're just running through the predictions that me and DJ threw together last week to see which one of us is the prediction champ. We're on to Cody Rhodes and Pac defeating Malachi and Andrade. I picked Pac and Cody. He picked Malachi and Andrade. Little surprised. I mean, not really considering who does the booking, but just surprised in a way that Malachi Black and Andrade did not get the win on that one.
What's Andrade's record in AEW? I feel like I've seen him win one match since he's been there.
Yeah, that's a great point. That is a great point.
They'll probably say he's like 50-7 because he fights on Dark and Elevation. And does that happen? That happened with Bobby Fish. He came out like his second week there, and they said he was like 5-2, and I'm like, when has he had 5 matches? Because I've only seen him lose.
Yeah. It's true. It's true. I honestly, I feel like I've only seen Andrade wrestle maybe 3 times as well. Then we had Britt Baker. We both picked Britt Baker against Ty Connie, as much as that hurted me. We both picked Eddie Kingston, as we talked about. CM Punk won there, so that's a loss for both of us. And then Inner Circle beat Men of the Year. We both picked Inner Circle, and then we both picked Adam Page. So it was actually a push again. So I hold on to the title for yet another pay-per-view. I've got it right here. Woo! Yay! I continue to roll here. The 2021 is the year of Tommy Paradise, as far as predictions go. But we've got the one of you guys can come in here. It's like the 24/7 championship this week. One of you guys can come in here and roll me up with the Survivor Series predictions that we'll get into in just a little bit. But yeah, that's it for full gear review. Yeah, we can get right into Survivor Series here. Let me just pull up the card and all that. But me and Kenny were talking about this before we went on the air, Mike. Like the build up here for Survivor Series is not great. We've talked in the past about how much Survivor Series is weak and needs to be like either gotten rid of or just redone. Yep. And this week on Raw, it was like nothing to speak of. Like there was nothing. You know, I'm putting notes together for the show. And usually me and DJ have our three things we want to talk about every week from the weekly shows. And like, as far as Raw goes, there's nothing worth talking about.
Well, it's like they're afraid to have more than like 4 weeks between pay-per-views. It's almost like you have a show and 3 weeks later is another pay-per-view and there's no time to build. And I get like Survivor Series is just like basically SmackDown fighting the equivalent person on Raw. But when you do these tag matches and then you just pick everybody on social media, you just kind of take away from it. But then at the same time, you would have had beat the challenge matches, clock challenges on Raw and SmackDown, and people would have been shitty because it probably would have been like somebody really big versus somebody who had no shot. But then they've also changed the teams. Like people have been kicked off the teams and stuff. So I guess they're trying to make story kind of intriguing there. We've got a couple of TBA mystery participants to be announced, so there's a chance that maybe some added flavor there, but it'll probably be disappointing in the end who they fill those spots with.
I don't hate the angle of them making the change. I hated the angle of them announcing the teams on social media, but I don't hate the angle of them changing the teams on the shows. Like I'm okay with that aspect of it. It's just this Survivor. I don't know why more than this year than any other year. This Survivor Series is just like really bugging me.
With all the cuts that just happened, like how much of it was that? Like we kind of had stuff written out and we had to change it on the fly, or hey, we were gonna have Jeff Hardy beat somebody they got cut, Keith Lee or somebody, or Karrion Kross. That's how he was going to make the team, and neither one of those guys are there for him to beat. So, yeah, kind of a bad time to be cutting people when you're about to have a pay-per-view that has tag team matches, and then you have a pay-per-view in 2 months that requires you to have 60 people in 2 matches. So,
it's a good point. I wonder what they're going to do for the Rumble. 20-man Royal Rumble.
I mean, they got enough people, but it's going to be one of those things like, almost feel like last year where there was only like 4 people that you thought legit had a shot to win.
Right. It's crazy. Yeah, just nothing to talk about for Raw.
That Raw, the go home show was awful. Like,
yeah.
And there hasn't been a good go home show in a while, I don't feel like.
I'll be at the go home show for SmackDown on Friday.
There you go.
When you guys hear this, I'll be telling Kenny about that. Before we went on the air too, taking the kid to SmackDown, and then he's got a 7 a.m. hockey tournament. He's got a hockey tournament all weekend, 7 a.m. game. So the kid is going to be a zombie. I'm going to pump him full of Ray's energy on the way down to the rink.
And he's going to scream at him too when he's being lazy and not like going for the puck or whatever.
Puck.
Sorry, I was about to call it a ball because you have this kid. You literally have this kid in like every single sport known to man.
Well, no, he does 2 sports, hockey and baseball. That's it
for now.
And I don't have him. He chooses this. I don't force him.
Ladies and gentlemen, he forces his kid.
Yeah.
I do not. Hey, 10 more pitches.
See, told you. he's in his room right now, just throwing the ball to the wall.
Yeah. All right, Survivor Series. Let's get into it. Let's go run down the card here and see what we got. Number one, we've got Team Raw, Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, Kevin Owens, Bobby Lashley, and Austin Theory taking on Drew McIntyre, Jeff Hardy, King Woods, Happy Corbin, and to be announced. Then we got Team Raw for the ladies. It's Bianca, Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, Carmella, and Queen Zelina taking on Sasha, Shayna Baszler, Shotzi, Natalya, and TBA. Then we got this actually. Now, there is part of me that thinks these two ladies are working us all over to get pay-per-view buys. Becky Lynch is taking on Charlotte Flair. I know we're all going to have an extra set of eyes on this match because of the shit that's been going on between the two of them. What are the chances that they're just shooting on us or kayfabing us?
I could see that.
I don't feel like you'd be talking about it as much if they disliked each other like in real life. I think you're just trying to build.
Yeah.
Because we've seen this match so many times, people would act like they didn't care.
Right.
Because obviously they're both the champ. One of them has to lose. Well, maybe we can always have that weird finish. So
right. Becky went on that, did some interview, and she's talking all about this. And I feel like if this was a real,
well, they're both heels, like, so you kind of have to do this right now.
And to your point, Mike, that's what's kind of making me feel like this is a work where it's like they're talking a lot about this. Like if they were talking about it so much, then I'd be like, okay, but it's working. I'm genuinely interested to see if they're going to legitimately beat the shit out of each other Sunday night.
Yeah, and they both have storylines going after this pay-per-view already, kind of built with Liv and with Tony Storm. So, which are two people who really haven't had their push in a while. So,
especially Storm.
Yeah,
I cannot wait to see Tony Storm's ass in real life on Sunday. Friday.
They changed her gear, so
right.
Yeah,
I don't think you're going to see much.
Me and DJ kind of talked about this before. When I bought the tickets, I was all excited about all the guys that were going to be there for SmackDown.
The draft.
And then we did the draft. Yeah, and I'm like, oh, my kid too, but he's excited about seeing Xavier Woods. He's already telling me he wants a New Day shirt while we're there.
There you
go. He wants that red one that's like the NWO. But, rest of the Survivor Series card. Losing my train of thought here. Big E takes on Roman Reigns. That's actually probably going to be a pretty good match, although it means nothing. And then the Usos versus RK Bro, and then Damian Priest versus Shinsuke Nakamura with Rick Boogs. Let's get into some predictions, guys, shall we?
Go for it.
Let me just write this down here. So one of you guys could steal the belt away. Then we'd have to have you on for the next pay-per-view to give us your predictions. So let's start with match number one on Wikipedia. It is it's the Team Raw versus Team SmackDown one. We'll start with you, Mike, because you're furthest south. Hit me with what you think is going to happen in this match.
I mean, the TBA thing is the intriguing part. First, Team SmackDown, because it could be somebody terrible. It could be something big. I'm trying to think of anybody who hasn't been on TV in a while. So at this point, I assume, I'm going to go with Team Raw just because I feel like Team SmackDown has the lesser talent there. Unless The Rock wants to show up for his 40th anniversary and be on Team SmackDown.
Yeah.
Could you imagine that?
That would be great.
Kenny, are you going on Friday or Sunday?
Yeah, I'm going to be there. So
the roof would blow up. Now, what sucks is like all day they've been on Twitter talking about the 25th anniversary of The Rock. We had those rumors earlier in the year that he was going to be at this show, and nothing ever happened. So at this point, I don't see it. But my God, if you could, but you almost can't do that as a surprise. That's something you get eyes on the show by announcing in advance. So it's more likely to be just somebody awful. So I'll take Team Raw, even though adding Austin Theory makes me think they're going to lose. But yeah, the better team.
What happened to the Mysterios?
Who cares?
I don't know.
Weren't they supposed to be like?
Yeah,
they're trying to build them to fight each other at some point.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought that was going to happen at Survivor Series for some reason, but maybe
but on
that's
Raw they didn't.
Yeah,
Raw it wasn't even like it was like the first time in a while one of them didn't cost each other the match. So
all right, shows how much I know. Kenny, who do you got for this match here?
I'm going Team Raw just for the simple fact that like looking at Team SmackDown, I have no confidence in this team at all. Like even if you bring in the mystery person, like that's not even gonna help unless it's The Rock or like Brock Lesnar. I don't think they're. I really don't think that they're going to win against the Raw team. The Raw team is stacked right now. Like all of them are past champions except for Austin Theory.
Yeah, he may be the only one that gets eliminated on Team Raw. Yeah. They may almost sweep them.
I'm going to Team Raw as well, so that sucks that we're all picking the same one. But what can you do? What can you do? It's just like you guys said, looking at it, and I always have to pick against Drew McIntyre now because he's screwed me so many times. So I refuse to pick him in any match that he's in. So with that, we've got the ladies' matches. Match number 2: Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, Carmella, and Queen Zelina is Team Raw. Sasha Banks, Shayna Baszler, Shotzi, Natalya, and another TBA. Who could that be? Lacey Evans.
Probably.
It should be shooting.
She just had that child.
No, have you seen her?
Yeah, she's been in the gym, man, working out with that baby.
Yeah, but Becky was in the gym, and it was like 8 months later. So what show did Asuka get drafted to?
She's a free agent.
She's still a free agent.
So and there's two things. I think Asuka's either that team, or I can see Asuka being the NXT TBA that they announced last night. Okay.
Yeah, we got War Games coming up at some point soon too.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
There's an open spot on the face team there, and I'd like to see maybe something with Asuka. I'd love to see Paige. There keep being rumors that Paige is going to get a wrestle again. I don't think it'll be for WWE. I think she's more likely to show up on. If she gets cut and they let her wrestle, it would be one of the other organizations. But
so Kenny, I'll let you go first. You picking SmackDown or Raw in this one?
You know what? It's a toss up for the simple fact that like I'm looking at the Raw team and they literally were all on SmackDown. Like
the
whole team. But so I'm gonna go Team SmackDown on this one. I think they have a better matchup. You know, they got Banks, they got Shayna Baszler, Chauncey, and they got the veteran Natalya there. So I'm gonna go Team SmackDown on this one.
All right, I'm going SmackDown as well. How about you, Mike?
I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna go with Raw.
All right,
having Bianca as the team captain and having Rhea and then Liv being the number one contender. Now I could see something happening with Carmella and Zelina and Liv, and that eliminating all of them by having like a fight mid-match with your own team. But that SmackDown team outside of Sasha doesn't really impress me. I know Shotzi's kind of getting a little bit of a push. I think that another thing like that TBA is going to kind of determine this match, but I'll take Team Raw.
All right. Then we got Becky and Charlotte. I'll go first in this one. I'm going to say a lot of factors in this one. I'm thinking like Charlotte is like Vince loves her. So I feel like he's going to have her go over. But at the same time, I feel like Becky has like the momentum. I'm going to go Becky. Mike, who do you got?
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna take Becky. I think her loss to somebody a few weeks ago. Sasha, maybe. Is that who it was? She lost to somebody in a random match with Bianca interfering, maybe. So Charlotte just seems like she can have the belt whenever, lose it, win it right back. So I think it'll be a bigger storyline thing for Becky to win that match.
I agree with you 100%. How about you, Kenny?
Man, as much as I'm a Becky Lynch fan right now, like I don't know. I'm you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna go with Charlotte on this one. I think they're gonna give it to her.
I mean, we're gonna have matches that have double disqualification. Something's gonna happen in either this or the Roman Big E match, but yeah, hard to throw that out as your prediction, I guess. Could, I guess.
Speaking of the Big E and Roman match, that's next. I went first. Well, Kenny, you go first this time.
Oh, come on, man. This is an easy toss-up. You know I'm going with Big E. I'm a New Day guy all the way. I think he's going to this is the match that he's been wanting for months now. Before he became champ, he wanted to fight Roman. He's been very vocal about it. And now with this whole little family build-up thing that they've been doing, he attacked Woods and Kofi. You know, I think it's time that Big E at least gets that win over Roman. And it's not going to hurt Roman anyway if he loses.
Right. I'm agreeing with you. I'm going to say Big E just because, like you said, if Roman loses, it doesn't hurt him at all. He's not losing the title. He's not losing anything, really. He's losing a meaningless match. So I'm going to go Big E as well. And yourself, Michael?
Yeah, I'm the opposite because I don't feel like they can let Roman lose. He hasn't lost a match in how many? Almost over a year.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, unless Brock Lesnar shows up and costs him the match, somehow I feel like Roman's winning this one.
Well, Brock is going to be on SmackDown this Friday.
Oh, did they announce that?
He said he's buying a ticket.
Yeah.
He's going to, that whole I'm gonna buy a ticket and
because he's
ringside.
Like, he's suspended or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love that.
He's not gonna be sitting next to me, I don't think.
I hope so.
I didn't buy ringside. I bought section 200. I wanted to sit next to him.
I'm not in the 200s. I'm in the 100s. I'm on the hard camera side, but like a little to like if you're looking at the watching on TV, I'll be like to the right a little bit. So
I need you to bring a sign.
I might make a run-in podcast sign. Actually, you'll see. I was hoping my new hoodie would be in, but I don't think it's going to be here yet. It's shipped, but I don't think it's going to be here by Friday. So we'll have to wait and see. But next up, we got oh man, I don't really care about this match, but RK Bro and the Usos. Mike, you go first on this one.
Oh man, this is a toss-up.
These are all toss-ups, I feel.
Yeah, but I feel like the Usos catch so much flack from Roman every time they lose, and they just lost to the New Day. Can they afford to take another L? Oh man, I'm gonna take the Usos just because I don't like Riddle, so I feel like there's a way that they can lose this match. So
you guys see the story about Riddle riding the camel into at the Saudi show? And Randy Orton wanted to do it as well, and Vince was like, "No, your character wouldn't ride a camel into the arena."
Right, though.
It's true.
He is right, but I feel like that would be a great way to get him to like kind of give in to like what Riddle's trying to get him to do. You know what I mean? Like, but like have him be on it, but have him be like resistant
or backwards or something.
Yeah, well, not like Bobby Heenan riding into WrestleMania 9,
well,
but
that's true.
Yeah.
Not like goofy like that, but just being like, what am I doing here? I think they could have made that work. But what do I know? Mike, who did you say? I'm sorry.
I picked the Usos.
Kenny, who are you picking?
I'm picking the Usos too. Just for the simple fact that I think just because I know Roman's going to lose.
Yeah.
So you got to do that whole reversal. Like they win, he loses. They kind of, and then they're looking at him like,
You just had all the elite team Super Click lose at AEW all on the same day. So, I mean, it's possible, but.
Yep. Kenny, before this show, me and you were just looking through the magazine, but we're on the same page now because I'm picking the Usos as well for that same exact reason. I think Roman's going to lose, and it's going to cause the Usos to get the win. So we're on the same page there, brother. And then let's see. Then last match, we got Damian Priest versus Shinsuke Nakamura. I'm going with my heart, who I want to win in this one, and I want Shinsuke to win. Let's go Mike next.
Yeah, wouldn't make me any happier to see Shinsuke win, but they're riding that Damian Priest wave, so I don't see any way of him losing. Because Sheamus isn't on Raw anymore, right? He's on SmackDown, so there's not really anyone to cost Damian a match here either. So, I mean, they are riding him strong right now. So I'm gonna go with Damian.
All right. And
like, you could tell me Nakamura wasn't the IC champion, I'd believe you, because I just, outside of having a guy play the guitar to the ring, I don't know shit about Shinsuke anymore.
Yeah, I didn't know he was Intercontinental Champion myself.
Yeah, it's turned into like a joke again.
That's a damn shame.
Yeah. Oh,
Kenny,
yeah.
who are you picking?
I'm picking the Bronx native. You know,
Shinsuke Nakamura.
No, way.
It's from the Bronx.
If Shinsuke's from the Bronx, man, like, listen, I want to know what part of the Bronx you're from.
Yep.
Shit. But no, man, yeah, right. But that's all the way in the city. Come on, don't mess up my city now.
Oh man,
we have everybody in sections for a reason.
All right, guys, those are our picks for terrible Survivor Series. Last week I talked on the show how they could like make the Survivor Series better and like making these matches worth something. Xavier Woods shares my opinion, guys. Xavier Woods has proposed an idea for the stakes for this year's men's Survivor Series match. Woods' proposal is as follows. The losing team of Survivor Series competes in a fatal 5-way elimination match, and the order they get eliminated determines their Royal Rumble entry 1 through 5. The winning team of Survivor Series competes in a fatal 5-way elimination match, and the order they get eliminated determines the Royal Rumble entry between 26 through 30. I said something similar last week when I said, you know, the winning team should get the last 5 picks in the Rumble. Losing team should get the first 5 or something similar to that. Like they should first draft pick, something just to put a little more oomph, a little more pizzazz on this show.
Yeah, I feel like we say this like every time a pay-per-view rolls around that like we're not excited for it. It's not going to be good, and it ends up being good. But this is probably not going to be a great pay-per-view because the matches all pretty much mean nothing. Like this is the perfect time you could have had the Usos and Roman and a 4th guy fight the New Day, and maybe like Brock is on the New Day's team. Like you could have done inter-brand matches. Like I hate that it is SmackDown versus Raw. Like that's the whole reason they had that Battlegrounds pay-per-view. I get you got rid of that, but like I miss classic Survivor Series. Like you have 2 of those matches, but it's just not the same.
Yep. It's
if you want matches not to have really much meaning because one of the champions is going to have to lose, like go back to the traditional full-fledged Survivor Series. Like don't even have, well, I guess you don't have title matches on this card really, so for the most part.
Right. Yeah, it's just it needs something, especially as it being one of the big 4 pay-per-views at one point. I would say Money in the Bank's probably more important at this point.
Right.
But
because that covers storytelling for anywhere from 2 to 8 months normally, because you got somebody chasing around. I can do this anytime type thing. So.
Yep. Right, guys. Those are our predictions. We went through the Full Gear pay-per-view. This week's episode, we talked about Raw, how there just really wasn't much to talk about. Same with last week's SmackDown. I believe there wasn't anything to like write home about or talk about on a podcast. Kind of just ho-hum, usual weekly wrestling shows. But AEW tonight, we're recording on Wednesdays now. I feel like I have to mention that every week. AEW tonight was actually pretty good. Kenny Omega, we heard reports all week about him working hurt. He even showed up to big event there in New York with after being injured, and he's working with vertigo. He's got to have shoulder surgery. It doesn't mean I'm taking back any of the bad stuff I said about him. But kudos to him for going through all that, but he is going to take some time off. We got to see a very aggressive Daniel Bryan, which we haven't seen in probably like, I don't know,
last week.
Well, I'm saying outside of AEW. When was the last time we saw a super aggressive,
almost like heel Daniel Bryan again?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm here for that Daniel Bryan, man. I'm enjoying that. I'm gonna enjoy him versus Page. I think it's gonna be a good little program there. Anything else catch your eyes, guys, on Dynamite tonight? Some good stuff. Oh, I'll let you guys go, but I just thought of something from Dynamite that caught my eye.
I thought the MJF and CM Punk little exchange was pretty good.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to bring up. Kenny, we are on the same page tonight.
There you
it's
go. I'm telling you, I'm your DJ.
Yeah.
Talk about a way of elevating MJF even more. If he beats CM Punk, like he's already their biggest heel there, and he's even started to add it into his promos where he's like, "You guys talk shit about that. I'm only good on the mic. I can't wrestle." The match he had with Darby was fantastic. So obviously Punk doesn't go as hard as he used to, but I mean, he can still put on a good match. I hope that this match doesn't happen for a while because I feel like the promos and the like back and forth exchanges are going to be really well done.
Yeah. Yep. The only thing this is again splitting hairs here, but like I didn't like how Punk, obviously he comes out, does his thing, doesn't say anything, but then he like walks away and he's like smiling, like laughing. I'm like,
I think he's laughing just because MJF said no one could go like he could go.
Yeah.
Was as good as him. And he's just laughing it off that because Punk will come out and be like, he'll just name 5 guys in the back that are just as good, if not better than MJF. And obviously MJF carries that chip on his shoulder. So
True. Good call there.
But has backed it up and beaten everybody that he needs to beat really so far.
Yeah, Jay Lethal looked good for his first match. Kind of weird that he's getting a title shot right away, but
isn't that kind of what the TNT title is? It's like the open challenge.
It was an open challenge.
That's what happened. Bobby Fish's first match was for the belt, so it's kind of their way of introducing people. But sucks for all these guys to come in and lose their first match. Jay Lethal carried the ROH belt for like 600 days, and he's gonna come in and lose to Sammy, which I like Sammy, but like he's injured. They just had this 5-on-5 street fight at the pay-per-view. They could have taken the belt off of him if they really wanted to, but maybe they're trying to push Sammy a little bit more as a singles guy again.
Yeah, that would be nice because he is. He's right up there with MJF, where he's going to be one of their stars when this is all. Not all said and done, but in a couple of years, I think he's going to be one of their biggest stars. But
they have those pillars like him and Jungle Boy and Darby and stuff like that. So they know the 4 guys that they're really pushing that aren't WWE guys, but they're for the most part they're smaller. They're not heavyweights, but the crowd loves them. So
yeah, really good episode. The last match was good too. That last match was Jay Lethal. I was thinking it was something else for somebody, but Jay Lethal and Sammy Guevara. It was good all the way around. That whole show was fairly good. Last thing here, just to mention, I didn't watch it, but I saw I read up on what happened. What the hell is going on with NXT, man? They just need this rebrand is not working for me. Not working.
Go Kenny, because I know you've got
it's.
Kenny sat forward for that. He was like, let me get this.
Because it's so bad. Like, all right, you give us this really good NXT that we had. It's like you gave us a shitty NXT in the beginning with all these competitions. Then you rebranded, let Triple H do, put it together. You give us a black and gold brand. We get super excited for this. And then you take it all away and you put us back all the way to the beginning. Because that's what I feel it is now. We're literally going back to the starting point without the games. Like we don't have Titus O'Neil running with a freaking keg and falling every 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Like, but we do get a dance battle last week, and then we get a poker night last night. Like,
yeah.
The poker thing. Some of like the characters, like. I get they're trying to build people, but they're all like, it's almost like 80s, early 90s WWF with like these goofy, the Goon and Brooklyn Brawler and Skinner. It's not like you're trying to introduce these weird characters But then on the other hand, you have all these guys. Some of them new, some have been there, established for a while, like Ciampa and stuff, and they're legit guys, Gargano, that can go. And it's a weird like mix match of like all these people together. It's almost like two different shows happening in a 2-hour span. Like the show ended with Raquel and Dakota Kai. It was a great match, and then they set up for this women's War Games, and I'm like, this is the NXT I love. But we're not always getting that. We're getting half of a show that's like for kids almost.
Yeah. I think that's probably my frustration with it too, to an extent, is like there is decent stuff on there, but then it's like Steiner and Mandy Rose are and like you said, Ciampa and Gargano and Io Shirai. There is like good talent on there to Dakota Kai. And Cameron Grimes is great. It took me a little while to get like warmed up to him, but the shit they have him doing is
just in a weird promo. Yeah, it's like, is there something wrong with it? I mean, their women's division for the most part is all just like SmackDown or Raw, but it's the guys that it's like the characters and stuff. And I love what they're doing with Mandy Rose. Like I said, I'd like to see maybe Asuka or somebody like that be the mystery partner and bring her back into NXT just to kind of even elevate that women's division a little bit more. I don't know how much of it you watched. I'm sure Kenny did. That girl threw that skateboard across the ring, and I don't know how she ducked just in time. Like it's almost like she didn't see it coming. I thought it was going into the crowd. I was like, that is dangerous. we're just chucking skateboards like it's
they don't care.
Yeah, whatever.
And that's pretty much it. Unless you guys got anything else to add for NXT to shit on or anything like that. Anything else in the world of wrestling for this week?
Please bring back my old NXT.
Yeah, I feel like I mean they pushed Dexter for a while. I think he's lost like his last 25 matches. I feel like I don't know if you're eventually setting up for Gargano, Ciampa like one final time before they move those guys up or one of them up, or because if Steiner's getting a rematch, he's probably going to win the belt this time, and then that basically totally changes the men's division because you're all these new characters and not the guys that are still there, like the Pete Dunnes and Garganos and stuff. Eventually, I feel like all these guys are going to be off of this version of NXT.
Yeah, and then they're going to be even more ruined.
There's a chance.
When he went to SmackDown a couple weeks ago, didn't Gargano do a dark match?
Yeah, he fought Kyle O'Reilly. He won, and right now they're kind of making Gargano a babyface, but I don't feel like that's going to last.
Kind of hope I get that as a dark match tomorrow. Not necessarily O'Reilly, but I hope I get to see.
Dakota Kai was in the women's dark match, and she lost to a girl I've never seen before. It was like she was like a cheap version of Alicia Fox almost.
Not much in the world of news for wrestling this week. The only thing I had a note here about the Charlotte and or the Becky and Charlotte Flair heat. But Ruthless Aggression 2 is coming back to, or Ruthless Aggression is coming back to the network. This looks good. I enjoyed this. I wasn't a huge Ruthless Aggression guy. I did like poked my head in and out during that era. Didn't really follow too closely, but there's still like, when I watched the first season of this, it was super good. Like it really kind of made me want to go back and watch some stuff. November 21st. Sorry,
I don't think you can count on your hand probably bad WWE Network or Peacock documentaries. Like they do such a good job with the documentary ones, which I guess is why they spread them out so much now. Because used to, I felt like every time I turned on the network, I felt like there was something being dropped. Now it's like once a month, once every like 3 weeks. It's not as often, but still good stuff.
Yeah. So November 21st, we're getting Hollywood Rock, and then November 22nd, we're getting the rest of it. It's Innovations, The First Revolution, The Resurrection of Shawn Michaels, and Securing the Future. This is going to be really good. I think I can't wait to take it in. It's probably going to get me itchy for some Ruthless Aggression figures, but. Other than that, though, I think it's time to move on. I don't think we've got a whole lot more to talk about in the world of wrestling. Anything else on your mind, Mike, about wrestling?
No, I mean, I saw obviously Ric Flair's still out there kind of trying to defend his name with all the stuff from the plane ride from hell. And I guess he dropped a podcast this week. And like, I guess they were promoting it on a couple of different other podcasts. So, I mean, he's till the grave going to deny everything, which is fine. Like, I get it. But like, you also think of the person the stories you've heard over the years for Ric Flair, and you're like, yeah, I could see that. That probably happened. Like, it was
absolutely.
It was a different time. Like,
yep,
it doesn't make it right, but
right.
Like,
I know. I feel like when you say that to people, they're like, "Well, you're making an excuse for it." It's like, no, I'm not making an excuse for it.
In the 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s, you probably were like, yeah, that probably happened. Now, if it happened, you're like, no, that doesn't fly. Shouldn't have flown then either. But
right,
people would have laughed it off or not made as big of a deal out of it.
Right.
Which, yeah. So we'll see. I haven't listened to it. I don't know. I know you're a big Flair guy, so I don't know if you're gonna tune in or not.
I'm a big old Flair guy. Like, like sometimes he's on stuff now, and I'm just like, stop talking. Right. You're just ruining your legacy. Just stop. So even when he would like come out on, when he'd come out on Raw here and there, it's just like, all right, dude, you're embarrassing yourself. Please stop. Please stop. But
and then I think he said, and I doubt it, they'll show him on TV because he's not under contract. He made it sound like he was going to show up for Survivor Series because they're kind of doing this thing between Becky and Charlotte, and Becky calling herself the man, which obviously is a Flair thing and stuff like that. So
yeah, there's like a lawsuit for that, or going back and forth with that. So I think he dropped it, but
something I thought I read somewhere that he signed over like not the rights, but like basically WWE owns the trademark, like the man or to be the man or something. Like Flair had it and maybe sold it. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? We lost Kenny here for a little bit. He's at work, so classic Kenny. He'll be at work. So we're gonna take a quick break here. Let you listen to a couple of words from our sponsors. Please don't fast forward so we can make some money, and we'll be right back in just a second. All right, and we're back. And with that, guys, it is time to walk that toy aisle. Walk That Toy Aisle is brought to you by Homage. You guys can pay homage over at, here's how you got to do it. If you want to pay homage, you got to go to runinpod.com, hit our deals link, and then click on the link for homage, then buy whatever you want. And use the code RUNIN15 for 15% off. Phil told us that the discount didn't stack, but I was messing around on there the other day, looking at some stuff, and it definitely still stacks. So you can get stuff on sale. Maybe it wasn't that sale particularly, but you can still catch it. And they just dropped some new WWE shirts. They've got Space Jam 25th anniversary shirts.
Oh yeah, I need that.
But they got a brand new Rock shirt, the People's Elbow. The Miz, they brought back some old Hardy Boys, Becky Lynch, and John Cena shirts. There's a new Macho Madness. There's a Barbershop Window shirt. They brought back the WrestleFest shirt, which I had many moons ago. I kind of want to reorder it because I don't know what happened to it. I don't know where it went, but lots of good stuff on there. You guys should know this by now. They're the softest shirts on the planet. They got more than just wrestling shirts, too. They've got NBA. They've got college football. They've got NFL stuff. They've got baseball stuff, WNBA, pop culture, and then they've got their own little line of go-tos with hoodies and sweatpants and all kinds of stuff, and it's all so damn soft and good. Mike, you should try it out. You should try out Homage sometime.
I'm gonna look into that. I need a new wardrobe.
Mike is I think me and him probably go head to head for who has more Homage shirts in their wardrobe than the other. So
shoot, I need to jump on the bandwagon.
I have a lot of H's in my closet over there.
Lots of H's.
Looking at me right now. I got one right now. I got wearing one of the zip-up hoodies. So, and it's super comfortable. I wear this hoodie all the time. So, yeah, hit up runinpod.com/deals and then click that link. That helps us. If you click that, use that specific link that's on our website or in our bio on Instagram or Twitter. And then use the code RUNIN15 for 15% off. We talked about it a little bit earlier. Chella announced the Big Daddy Retro is for sale. This went on sale this past week, and it is a easy pass for me because I have no idea who this guy is. But
no lookup, like we can't Google it, right?
Yeah, well, no, you can Google him. But if you're a completist of the Chella retros, you gotta grab this guy, and you can do it over at figurecollections.com/shops and use the code RUN10 to save 10% on that figure. They've got a lot of good stuff coming. I know I keep saying it, but they're re-releasing Bull Nakano because people were not happy with her height. I talked about it on this pod. I thought the height was fine compared to the other, on the pod a couple weeks ago. I compared it to a Kane retro, the Ric Flair Hasbro, and it was like she's 5'7" in real life, and it was all comparable. So I don't know why people got a beef with it, but
people are.
I cannot wait for some of these ones they've got coming.
Scale has always been a thing with wrestling figures.
Yeah, look at the Bobby the Brain Heenan Jax that's as big as Kane and the Undertaker. Like it's hard to get it right, I think, sometimes, but oh well. We got a tease from Jeremy Padawer, and then he left us with blue balls. He said,
like always.
He said, "Are you guys ready for some reveals? AEW reveals." We all thought we were getting new figure lineups, and it was a lot of stuff that we already knew was coming or we already saw. We saw the Britt Baker Blood and Guts DMD, the bloody version of Britt Baker. Very cool exclusive. Either one of you guys grabbing that one?
Yeah, I'm definitely am. I love the cover, like the box cover of it, because it just takes you back to Cody and Dustin's box. So
I like that they're going to keep that going. It seems like they're going to keep that going as a theme, or a line, like the Blood and Guts line, like that, and it's going to be ringside exclusives. I love the idea of that.
And we know AEW loves bloody figures or bloody blood in their show, so color is a staple for them. So I don't collect a lot of figures unless newer stuff, unless I'm getting something signed maybe or retro stuff. So, but these AEW exclusives have been pretty much perfect for that because the window's big. Like Kenny said, the box art and stuff is the presentation and the way it's framed. So yeah, and she does a lot of con and signings and stuff. So
she's always out there.
Yeah, this one should be a pretty easy one if you wanted to get it signed, you should be able to. So
yeah, if she's coming around, I would definitely grab this for myself.
Yeah, I'll probably wait to grab it till there's a sale or something, but it's definitely something I would like to have signed. If there's any AEW figure, it'd probably be hers.
You can pre-order it now at Ringside Collectibles and use that code DACALLUP.
DACALLUP.
10%. That's Kenny's code. And then we got.
Kids, me out.
Yeah. I'm just going to run through these quick. You guys can cut me off if there's something you want to say about the figure. But Ty Connie, complete with realistic backside, Series 2 Unmatched. We got to see Sting Series 2 from Unmatched, Cash Wheeler, and Dax Harwood. We saw where these guys are getting another figure. Lance Archer, he looks really good actually. And that's what people were freaking out because Jeremy Padawer says we're getting new figures, and then the day he put these images out, people were finding these in stores already. So that's those are Unrivaled Series 7. Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson as well in the Lakers colors. Nyla Rose, her first figure. Wardlow is going to be an Unmatched Series 2. That is a pretty badass looking figure.
Yeah, I actually want that.
They nailed him. Santana, MJF, another MJF. It's weird that MJF has so many figures considering he's only wrestled probably 6 matches in AEW. But Nyla Rose, Lance Archer, and MJF are the chases or the rares or whatever you want to call them. Lance Archer is 1 of 3,000. MJF is going to be a 1 of 3,000, and Nyla Rose is 1 of 5,000. Then there is a 1 of 5,000 Sting that is going to be out there. DJ is going to need that. Looks like the only difference with that one is the shirts. Yeah, it's the shirt. The only difference is the shirt on that one.
Because that's not the the same one that they had for Walmart, right?
No, that's the half Darby face paint, half his face paint. So Yeah, so it was a little weird seeing that we're getting all these reveals, and half of them everybody already knew they were coming out. So I don't know. There's something going on there with the Jazzwares announcements, but
you know what I'm wondering is like, okay, so they're coming up with like all these different lines or whatever for AEW, and like one of the things that I love about Mattel is that they have the basics. So I'm wondering, like, are they ever going to do a basic line for AEW so like kids don't have to like, well for parents, really, we don't have to spend over $20 for like a figure. So if a little kid wants a Orange Cassidy figure, there's a basic of that one, and we can give it some for like $12.
That's a good call, actually. I wonder if they are going to do that. I know Jeremy's teased a lot. He teased retros. He teased like the other day. He said a horse, a van, and there's something else I forget what for 2022. And then he said if you know, you know. So that's coming. And that's I'm assuming Hangman Page's horse. The golf cart, I think, was the other one.
Yeah.
And then the van from I forget whose mom it was that they stole the van from. Yeah, it wasn't.
I mean, those are great ideas, but like by the time that stuff comes out, like the relevancy,
right?
The van and the golf cart, I mean, Hangman's horse, sure, that's easy, but yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like that's something you would sell in stores. Like that's almost got to be a Ringside or AEW or Pro Wrestling Tees, like. Those fan golf cart type things almost have to either be bundled with something or sold separately on a website. I just can't see that selling in a store.
It's gonna be pushed though, because you're gonna have Matt Cardona and Brian Myers pushing it to the masses over on the major pod. It's showing it off, so people are gonna freaking sell their left kidney for that thing.
You know what though? They were talking about this week and they're trying to push it, and it's not really happening. I wish I had the website up here real quick, but it's like it's the people that are. I had the website earlier. It's the people who are making those referee figures. It's like a Kickstarter. They need to they're trying to raise like $90,000, and they've gotten to 10,000. Like it's not going as good as they thought it would be. I mean, like I think that's like a niche kind of deal. We talked about it a few weeks ago on the pod. I think it's like a niche segment of the collector world, because it's like those are made for figure photographers, and there's only so many of those. But we'll see if that actually happens. AEW also, we're getting an accessory pack and pop-up entrance stage, another accessory pack, and pop-up entrance stage. Pretty excited, or pretty intrigued to see how that'll that pop-up entrance stage work out. I know they do that with WWE. They did like a SmackDown style one and a Raw style one, and they didn't get used $10, but we'll see how it looks. And Jay White. We got to see his Chella retro available on Ringside Collect. You can use the code DACALLUP to save 10% on that. Those look really good. Didn't you get that, Mike?
Oh, I think we have a segment coming up. We'll find out.
That's right. Sorry, jumping ahead. And then the Cody UK ring was popping up on Walmart.com for $25. I did see some people just got a regular basic ring, not the Cody UK exclusive one. I kept going back and forth on if I wanted this, because at one point I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy that figure from somebody in the UK just to have it, the first UK exclusive Cody. And then I went to buy it and it was sold out. And I was like, all right, that's a sign from the figure gods that I don't necessarily need that. I don't own a single AEW figure. I don't know why I was like, oh, I need to get that.
Yeah. At that point, it's like, because you wouldn't have been able to display it the same way. You would have had to have opened it. Like, had I known it was a thing when it popped up, or I thought about it, I would have ordered it, because at worst, if it was just the ring shows up, you just return it to Walmart. But it seemed like it was like, I don't know, 7 out of 10 that ordered it got the UK ring, which is really weird.
Yeah, they got lucky. I had to order mine from the UK because I have a friend out there.
Yeah,
and he ordered it for me and then shipped it.
Yeah, so
when
that's the
when
part
they
that
first came out. Yeah.
shipping's the price of the ring, probably.
Right. And that was it for the for wrestling figure news. We did get to see Super 7 dropped the Party Wagon. This thing, as tempted as I am, it's a easy pass for me. It is awesome looking. I am not taking anything away from the Ninja Turtle or Super 7. They killed it, but it's $500.
Yeah, that caught me right there.
You can do payments.
Yeah, but you're not going to get it to 2023 probably.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But a good friend, Lanham, friend of the show, he hooked me up with the $35 Party Wagon that Playmates re-released. So I'm good with Party Wagon. This thing's gonna be pretty big too. Like, it's crazy. It looks great. Don't get me wrong, but I just can't. $450.
Right.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot.
Imagine explaining that to your wife that you just spent that much money.
I mean, you could have spent $4,500 on a Doink Bendome prototype ring.
That's right. There was more wrestling news. The Dink prototype bendy ring sold to Matt Cardona. And then Phil actually, this is probably one of his best ideas ever. Put to have everybody take the screenshot and send it to their wives and get their responses. It's sold good ones. There was some really, really good ones.
That is a direct Monopoly go to jail divorce something card by telling your wife you spent $4,500 on a Bendome prototype ring.
What was funny was like everybody sent their screenshot responses, right? I sent one to my coworker and she was just like, "Are you serious? Like you saw it?" My wife, I sent it to her and she, instead of texting me, she calls me.
Oh man.
And she's just like, "Wait a minute." I go, "Hello?" She's like, "So explain to me how you spend how much money on a toy ring before I kill you?" And I'm just
it's
like,
a one of one.
Yeah. So I explained it to her. I was like, "Oh, it's very rare. I can sell it." She said, "You better sell that ring as soon as it gets here." And I was just like, "It's a joke." She was like, "All right, I'm going back to work now," and hangs up the phone.
My wife said, "Don't." That was her only response.
Yep.
I said, "It's a joke. I would never." One of the major guys did it, and someone said, "Send the screenshot to your wife for the reactions and post them." She goes, "I thought so." That "don't" was like, "Don't fuck." LOL. Like, do not do that. So she knew. She knows. I mean, as for if you're a listener of the show, you know I spend money on figures, but I try to be as smart as I can about it. I try not to do any impulse buys or anything like that, except for that one time in Baltimore when I bought that Ultimate Warrior with you guys.
But Kenny's got that like Spanish in his bloodline. She legit would beat his ass.
Yeah.
At least you got a text message. I got a straight phone call verification. Like I know you heard me. Like I'll kill you and then take all your toys and freaking sell them.
You'd be dead in the woods with DJ.
I'm telling you.
I get all Kenny's shit. You get the kids, Tommy.
No, I'm good.
You're close. Yeah, no, you're closer, so you can take them.
You get two more boys. You can load up them sports teams. Give them shit to do all the time.
My oldest son is into basketball, so you're good. See, you can cover another sport.
There you go.
We got to see new gargoyles. This is one line. Like, if I had the room, if I had the space, I might jump into this line. But they look great.
They're cool toys, but no, I'm out on that.
Yeah.
I have no space.
It was Thaylog, which I don't even really remember him, but he looks cool as hell.
Well, that's just it. This is only like the third figure. They're probably going to do like 7 to 10 of these things, and the wingspan and the they're cool, but man, that is some change.
Like
adding up.
My whole thing is I'm afraid that I'm going to see this in store.
Yep.
And I'm going to be like, oh, this looks so good. And it's going to take me back and I'm going to end up buying it.
You could probably get away with buying the first one, like that main character, and being hopefully like good with that. But yeah, it's a slippery slope on those new series and figures you didn't expect to see in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, damn you. That's Super 7, right?
No,
Yep.
NECA.
Oh no, NECA.
NECA. No, NECA.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7 was the van and the Turtles
NECA
line.
is supposed to be having a NECA is supposed to be dropping a party wagon as well. Super 7 beat him to the punch, but
I hope it's cheaper.
I'm sticking with the Playmates $35 one.
It's crazy how many lines TMNT has right now. Playmates and Super 7 and NECA, like that licensing's everywhere for a show that hasn't. I mean, I know it's still on like Nickelodeon, whatever version, but man,
my kid still watches it.
They are killing people on the nostalgia factor.
Yep, my kid has watched it pretty much since he was like 5, I think 4 or 5. He still watches it. Just every once in a while, he'll pop on Hulu and watch more episodes. So, and he loves the movies and stuff like that. So it lives on. But all right, that's it for toy news this week. Yeah, getting a little slow here as we get into the holidays. Everything's been announced for the most part, and yeah, no new Marvel stuff, nothing new from Hasbro Pulse. They just got their Pulse Lab stuff that they're pimping out with the G.I. Joe Skylab, the Star Wars Rancor, and the Ghostbusters Plasma Series Proton Pack.
I actually like Proton Pack.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool looking, but I
don't know what the hell you do with it. Like,
yeah, I don't know either.
It would just look cool display, but you got to buy all these accessories to make it whole. And if you want to put it on your back, you got to buy like this, like deer hunter's backpack carrying thing. And, yeah, but I mean, we're 5 weeks out from Christmas, so like the shipping woes, that stuff's coming in like 2.5 weeks. Like if your shit's not out, so like that's why you're not going to see a lot of this stuff like announced. Hey, it's coming. It'll be in the spring, because no shot of you getting any of this stuff by Christmas if you don't order it here probably before like the second week of December.
Right. Yeah, it's wild. I've said on the pod last week that I am shocked that they are doing these three, that HasLabs is doing these these HasLab crowdfunding projects so close to Christmas. Like they all end in December. The G.I. Joe one ends, it's got 20 days left. So December 8th
it's a hard pill to swallow to drop money on something you're not getting for like a year right around the holidays.
Yep. The Rancor is $350, and that you have till December 7th. And then the Proton Pack is, where the hell is the price? Oh, $399, and that one you have till December 13th to back. So
yeah, Proton Pack's already hit its backers, right? Like it's
they went way over that. They're like like maybe like 1,000 or something.
Yeah, it's the other two are kind of moving along, but it's like if it's anything like the Ring, last minute they may hit it, but closer to Christmas, tougher it may be to get money out of people's wallets. So
the Sky Striker is about halfway there. Their target is 10,000. They're at 5,489.
If you would buy one, it would help.
There you go.
I know. I go back and forth. I go back and forth. It's another thing. It's like where am I going to put this?
Right.
Like as much as I want it, or even just like keep it in the box because it looks cool. The retro packaging and stuff like that. It's like where spend on a box. So, but all right, Mike's yawning. We'll move right along here. You need a Raise energy drink, bro.
Exactly.
Let's get into our weekly purchases. Mike, we'll let you go first since you kind of already teased at yours.
Yeah, I mean, you brought it up earlier, so see if we can get that on camera. The Jay White,
nice.
Sorry, Chella Toys. That's ringside exclusive, but I did use code DACALLUP to save my 10%.
Hell yeah!
But I also grabbed the variant.
Nice.
Actually, I don't know which one is the variant. I don't think they're saying on the website that one's a chase and one isn't. I think they're just like, here, there's two different ones, which I think they've done for a couple of the Cellas, like the Aldous. There were some different paint schemes, but I wasn't a fan of that figure compared to the rest of the ones that have been in that series so far.
The Cellas have definitely come like all this compared to the Nakano. Like those are the only two I have. Obviously, they improved immensely from all.
Yeah,
this
I think once that Aldous was out for a little while, and then the Blue Meanie. I think as the retro line has picked up more and more, and other companies, everybody's kind of stepping up their game on that stuff. So until you said the Bull Nakano, like maybe being re-released, I hadn't heard that, but that'll be interesting. I don't know that I would buy it again unless they give me a deal for buying it the first time. I'm okay with what I've got. So
I said that to Jack. I'm like, from Figure Collections. I'm like, I don't know if that's a smart move. They might piss some people off with.
What am I going to do with the first one? So unless it's a different, unless it's a different paint scheme or something where you can have a vast difference, because otherwise, what do you do with the other one? Throw it away? Like has no value. So be interesting. So and then these came last week, but I wasn't here, so this is my signed. Can't really see that. Yeah, Billy Kay.
Okay.
And Peyton Royce. They were. I think that was a High Spots.
Yeah, I've seen a couple people do that. Yeah,
signing in I think it was in North Carolina, maybe. So, and it was priced decently. They said they had a pretty good showing for that amount of stuff that people sent in, enough that I've watched a few of those Sign It Lives, and they do Q&As and stuff like that. They really couldn't do that because they had so much stuff going at once. Wow. So and then the last thing I got is this hoodie from
I got that too.
Yeah, Stash Pages did a I guess a restock, so I swooped up that. If you're not following Stash Pages or signed up for those newsletters and stuff, there's some fire drops that happen on there. So bootleg stuff is crazy right now, and I hate that I love so much of it.
I'm in the same boat, man. I grabbed that sweatshirt, and then I saw his email today. He calls it the Stanford collection. It's like the gym bag and then the snapback WWF old school hat. So definitely go check those out. Kenny, what'd you get this week?
I didn't buy any figures at all this week. That was the crazy thing. I got stuff last week.
Bro, you're supposed to buy stuff knowing you're coming on the pod. You just buy stuff. Just talk about it.
I did buy toys, but it wasn't for me. It was for my kids. I bought them the new Fortnite guns that came out.
Christmas is in 5 weeks. Stop buying stuff for your kids.
But no. But those are Christmas gifts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was on sale at Target. The Target that I went to had a really big sale, and then when I looked, the two guns were actually on sale for that store. So I bought those, and then I bought some stuff for my computer that I needed to actually have good Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Those are, you said they were figures, or they're the Nerf guns?
They're the Nerf guns, but they're they're fucking huge though.
Yeah, and they hurt. Some of those newer Nerf guns, it's not soft foam. Those little hard shell Nerf ball things.
Yep.
They fly out of those guns at 40 miles per hour. I don't know what it is, but it hurts.
We have a cookout every year, and my kid, a huge cookout, and my kid always tells all the other kids to bring Nerf guns, and they just run around the yard and have a Nerf gun Nerf war all day. And one of my buddies grabbed one of the little pocket ones.
Yep.
And those things fucking pack a punch, dude. He had it down by his hip, and I was over by the grill, and he just he was like, "Hey, Tom," and I looked, and he shot it, and it got me right under the eye, and legitimately left a bruise right under my eye.
Have you seen the videos? Those people who do I loosely use the word adults are playing these Nerf tournaments now.
Yeah, my kid watches those on YouTube all the time.
Yeah,
oh my god, I'm not showing that to my kids.
No, because Nerf, stuff like Nerf and Legos and fucking Lincoln Logs, all that shit from our when we were kids. That shit's expensive.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And the Nerf guns are unreal. My kid bought an Overwatch Nerf gun last year with his Christmas. It's $75.
Right. Yeah, there's $100 there's like $100 Halo one, and
I was just gonna say, if you go to Hasbro Pulse, there's actually like limited edition ones on there. There's like an Alien one, like from the movie Alien. It's crazy.
And the gun looks really cool, except for it's a Nerf gun. But yeah, it's hella money, and then it's shooting these hard. It's still Nerf, but it's not just soft little foam that's gonna bounce off of you. It probably leave a little mark.
Yeah. Right now on Hasbro Pulse, the Nerf Halo Needler is $99.
Crazy.
Nerf Star Wars Mandalorian Ambin Phase Pulse Blaster, again a Nerf gun, is $125.99, and then the Aliens M41A blaster is $94.99.
Nerf is just another one of those companies that never really completely fell off, and now they're getting all the licensing for anything that has a gun in it.
Yep.
And then you're just like, oh, I love Fortnite.
Yeah.
I love Overwatch. I love Halo. I love Call of Duty. Like, oh, we'll just make a gun, and it's all the same gun, just a different paint scheme, probably.
Back in my Halo playing days, I did love the Needler. I did love that gun. But you got to buy two of them. Don't you usually use two of them if you're playing Halo? So that's $200.
That's crazy. No way.
My weekly purchases, I got the Jeff Hardy Ultimate Edition, which I actually left in the other room. It's still in like the Mattel case. Box. I ordered the UK version because the US version was sold out. I 100% bought that for trade bait. I have no intentions of actually opening it up unless my mind changes for some reason. But so if you need,
it's still a hard to find figure.
Yep, it's if you need that, hit me up and let's work out a trade for something. And then I picked up my autograph to put this on our on our Instagram today. My autographed Kane Survivor Series figure. I don't know how good you guys can see it in the video. He signed it in red. I did request him to sign it in white, but they were so busy that day and I couldn't make it. It looks, I said in the post on Instagram, like the picture does not do it justice how good it looks in red. But I think white would have popped a little bit more, but what can you do? And then I got that same hoodie that Mike got, the WCW NWO Revenge Nintendo 64 game. And that was it. So I had a slow week myself. So, pumped to finally get that Jeff Hardy in the mail. Like I said, probably going to just keep it in that box. And when the time is right, I will strike with some kind of, make some kind of deal out there. But
there you go.
That's it for weekly purchases. That's it for Walk That Toy Aisle. Let's get into Falls Count Anywhere. Falls Count Anywhere is the part of the show where we talk about whatever we want. We get outside of the world of wrestling and outside of the world of toys, and we talk video games, movies, whatever the hell we want. Football is a hot thing right now. And we're gonna kick it off with No Way Home trailer. Did you guys check this out?
No, I'm trying to stay away from like watching like any trailers or spoilers. Like, I just want to go into this movie surprise.
All right, I respect.
I'm hoping. I'm kind of the same way. Like I feel like because there's so much like talk about what's gonna happen in this movie or what people want to happen. I'm hoping it ends up being like the Avengers thing, where like everybody makes like this truce not to spoil anything for 30 days, because the day it comes out, like the early like Thursday night showings, I'm going to be out of town that night, so I won't be able to see it for at least a couple of days. And I feel like if somebody spoils and tells me there's 3 versions of Spider-Man or something else in the movie, that it's going to piss me off. So, and it's smart because it's like right before Christmas when everybody like loves to go to the movies because school's out, or
December 17th,
like people go Christmas Day or the week of because school's out, or maybe you've saved up PTO from work, or I don't know, you don't work in retail where you get your ass handed to you that week. So
yeah, I didn't realize it was coming out so soon, to be honest with you. I thought it was coming out like 2022 for some reason. I'm looking at the calendar right now trying to figure out when I'm going to see it. But there's some of the bad guys they showed I'm very excited to see finally in this without getting too much into it. That drops December 17th, 2021. It's a Marvel movie. It's not going to be bad.
No. Well, the Spider-Man ones are the better ones. So
I had this conversation the other day, and this might be a subject for our top 5 here. Like your top 5 Marvel character. We might have actually even done it, but our top 5 Marvel characters, and Spider-Man's right up there, man. It's like as cliche as he is, and popular as he is, like you don't always want to pick the most popular guy, but man, the Spider-Man movies do not disappoint. Tom Holland is a great. Wait, is it Tom Holland? Yeah, Tom Holland. I don't know. I get all the Spider-Man actors confused.
And I think this is his last one, maybe, but they want him to do another one, and he's kind of.
Oh, I hope he does.
I guess he's like the other guys, where it's like this should be my cutoff. Make another Spider-Man, or and then it's just so disappointing that the Venom movies aren't as good or even nearly as good. I get it's a different company that puts them out, but with the crossover that they could have. But yeah, and that's I like Tom Holland. I'm excited for the Uncharted movie, the video game movie, to come out early next year. So we'll see.
I'm excited that Dr. Octopus is in it, Green Goblin, Electro. We're getting like some of the Sinister Six here, so this is should be really good. Cannot wait. I need to move some. I'm committed to something on December 18th. Family thing on December 19th. I'm gonna have to try to make this work somehow, but we'll make it. I want to go before Christmas. Now that I'm looking at the calendar here. But
Christmas falls on like a Saturday this year, I think.
It's a Friday,
so
Saturday.
You got that Christmas Eve on the weekend. So you're almost gonna have to go like opening night or
Christmas
like
vacation.
just a random Monday, Tuesday of Christmas week, and just hope your wife doesn't have shit planned for you.
Yeah, I'm usually off that week.
Saturday.
I'm usually off that week, and she usually works that week, but like she's like works slow, where like she'll just kind of like bring her phone with her or whatever. So we'll see what happens, but I'm pumped for that. We also saw the new X-Men cartoon. Well, we didn't see anything from the new X-Men cartoon, but Disney Plus announced they're pretty much picking up right where the 90s cartoon left off. Disney's rebooting the 90s X-Men series. They're calling it X-Men 97. Same animation style. They're picking up where the original left off, and they're bringing back the original theme song. Give it to me. I'm all for this. It's one of the first things I fired up when Disney Plus first launched was the old X-Men cartoons.
Yeah, it's pretty genius to do it this way, because if you try to change stuff, kind of like we talked about Ninja Turtles, like it's not the same. Like, and there will be some changes, subtle changes that'll piss people off, but for the most part, I think people are going to be like, "Yes, this is it. This is my childhood. This is the nostalgia I was looking for." So, yeah, let's hope Disney can pick up where it was Fox, right? Fox Kids or something back then. So, should be really good.
Yeah, but I think Disney Plus is going to do a good job. Just for the simple fact, like all the other like anime movies they've been doing so far, like the series, they've been killing it. Like, every single project they've been throwing out so far. So like I'm like super excited for this one. Like I can't wait.
And speaking of Disney Plus, we talked about Buzz Lightyear getting his own movie. And then we did a whole little top 5 there about what Disney characters should have their own movie. Baymax is getting his own movie. Baymax, there's a picture somewhere on my phone of Baymax, motherfucker, trying to steal my wife at Disney World. He is Mr. I labeled him Mr. Steal Your Girl.
I saw him when we were at Disney at like Epcot or something. I've never seen that movie.
Oh, it's really good, actually. I enjoy.
That's what everybody says, is that it's one of the better ones.
My kid was into that movie for so long. We watched it all the time, and he loves it. He still watches it to this day. That's honestly, he's in the other room sleeping, but he would kill me if I said this, because he's turning into a tween right now. He's 11. He's almost 11.
He's a tough guy. He plays hockey.
Right. He doesn't want you to know that every once in a while I come downstairs and he's watching Monsters University or Monsters Inc. on Disney Plus.
I was watching that earlier.
Hell yeah. Like those movies like don't make you any less of anything, like or any more of anything. They're just they're great to be taken in anytime. So
that's why I was happy to see Buzz Lightyear get his own movie. I can't wait for the figures to come out for that. I'm definitely buying that.
I can't wait. Can't wait.
Speaking of
go ahead.
Of Disney Plus, I saw like this new Home Alone movie dropped.
Oh no!
Oh yeah.
Did you watch it or did your kids watch it?
I haven't. We haven't watched it yet, but most likely probably watch it over the weekend.
Yeah, I'm gonna end up having to watch it because it randomly has people from the first movie in it. But I mean, I still don't expect it to be good. But for free, I guess I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know about that. I might have to check it out just out of pure curiosity.
Right.
All right, and then this Mike, this is right in your wheelhouse. Read this week that Sony is making fewer PS5 consoles this holiday due to supply chain issues.
Yeah,
Are we ever going to have the day where we walk into the store and a PS5 is just sitting on the shelf?
Oh my God, never.
I mean, I think we knew back in like the spring that don't expect them for 2021, maybe even 2022. So I think they were a little ambitious with the numbers they threw out of how many systems they wanted by there was a certain date, and if they had them, they would sell that many, but not looking good for those numbers. So yeah, they'll cut back. I mean, even like places like Walmart and stuff have already announced like Black Friday, they won't have them in stores. Like website will have them, but they'll be gone in seconds, and you're going to get beat by the bots and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then there are some retail stores that will have them, but you're going to have to camp out and ruin your Thanksgiving by giving in to the man to get that system for your kid who's not going to show you enough love for your appreciation and love for what you did for him.
Tell me about it.
Do you have to work Thanksgiving, Mike?
They are open for a few hours, which is stupid, but it's because of having PlayStations and Xboxes in stores.
Okay. I hate that.
Yeah, like for years they were always closed, and then like Walmart and Target and Best Buy and all them were like, no, we're gonna be open on Thanksgiving, like get added sales and all that. And then like a couple of years ago, it kind of, as online stuff got better, they cut back on it. And then with COVID last year, everybody was kind of closed. But yeah, this year it's, even though a lot of those retailers are not going to be open, some are. So just to kind of beat to the punch and added sales and stuff. So
because Target is going to be closed, right?
Yeah, I think Target and Walmart are both closed. I think Best Buy is closed. So it's going to be pretty limited, but that's how you get extra business, is be the one place that's open. But
yep,
so much of that stuff you'll be able to, like game wise, be able to buy online. And everyone's added memberships. Like there's Walmart Plus now, and Best Buy has like Tech something, and all the prices range. It jumps around, but it does give you better chance of getting some of this stuff or getting it early before it sells out to the public. But you're just paying that fee on top of it, so you're basically getting back to maybe that original price or more, unless you buy a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah, it's true.
All right, it's top five time here, guys. Top five. It's Thanksgiving week, the week of Thanksgiving, the best holiday. It's the greatest holiday. I don't care what you say.
That's a hot take.
What holiday is better than Thanksgiving? It's like just as good as Christmas, but you don't have to be all stressed out from buying gifts and shit. You just eat.
No, I mean, I'm not disagreeing. I like Halloween also, but then like you don't get like the good meal and shit you get with Thanksgiving. My biggest problem with Thanksgiving is seeing all these people for like family and shit, and then 4 weeks later I have to see them again.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
But no, the food and stuff carries so much weight for Thanksgiving. But then like mine for working retail for so long hurts it, because I have to work Black Friday every year, and that's like somewhere between like 4 and 6 in the morning normally, if not earlier. And then we do Thanksgiving late in my family because everyone's married or kids and stuff. They've got to go to other Thanksgivings between like noon and 4. So my parents always did it almost like dinner time.
We do it dinner time too, actually. Like 4 or 5 o'clock is usually when we do it.
But so before we do the top five, like since both of you married and kids and stuff, do you guys host Thanksgiving ever, or is it always like your parents, other family? Like Are you ever the like host family? Everybody comes to your
Well,
house.
we rotate.
Okay.
So like I think last year was my house, and then this year is going to be I think my mother-in-law's house. So like my mom and sister and brother will come over there. So we're all going to be packed in one house.
I'm about to say how many people are we talking?
Oh my God. I'm going to say maybe like 13 of us.
God, I wish it was only 13 in my house. Well, not my house, my parents' house. I'm not hosting shit.
We hosted last year, and because of COVID, we actually did like all our friends. Like we had all our friends come over that didn't have family around. My parents stayed home just to be safe.
Yeah.
And then because they're older, but usually my parents host. We'll go to my parents. My wife's not super close with like her dad's side of the family that lives here. So like she may do like a pop in, or we may go over there for like an hour or whatever. But the rest of her family doesn't live near here, so we don't really see them. So like we have a niece who lives near us. She's gonna come hang out with us at my mom's this weekend or this year. My mom kind of has like an open door policy. Like if you have nowhere else to go,
just
come on by. Yeah. So like I'll have a couple buddies stop by, after we eat or whatever, they come by for dessert. And then we have like a divorced friend who last year he came over with his kids and stuff like that. So it's a different bag every year, but we hosted last year for the first time. I might have told this story actually. It's the first time I've ever cooked a turkey, and I did it on my smoker. And at like 7 a.m, I looked out the window and there's a ton of smoke going by the window. And I was like, that's a lot of smoke for the smoker. And I ran outside and the smoker was on fire.
Oh, boy.
Nice.
But I was able to save it. And the turkey came out amazing. So long story short, it actually had one little bald spot on it from the skin, like where the skin burned off. And that was it. And the rest of it was like amazing. So it worked out. I was terrified that I had ruined Thanksgiving, but and I followed the directions. I did what I was supposed to do. But we're gonna do top 5 Thanksgiving traditions for our top 5 this week. We're gonna kick it off with number 5. Football parade. Anything else? Like you got a family football game. What do you guys got? We'll start with Mike. What is your number 5? Not necessarily family tradition, but just Thanksgiving tradition.
I mean, when I was younger, obviously, as I got older and in the workforce and having to work, when I was a kid, we got up and did I think it's called a turkey trot, but it's like a 5K race. When I was a kid, we used to get up and do that on Thanksgiving morning. So, and I know they still have them. They have them around Christmas also, which of course, like, cold ass weather. Who wants to run in that? Who wants to run in general, but who wants to run in cold weather? But yeah, that was one of the things used to do, and I'd like to be able to do again, but it's tough now.
How about you, Kenny? What's number 5 for you?
We like growing up, like in the neighborhood that I was in, we would go play basketball because we had a court that was like right down the street from us. So like we'll get up like early in the morning while like like our moms and stuff like that will cook Thanksgiving. And we'll just like literally play full court basketball for like half the day until one of us had to go, and then all would just leave.
Damn, that's awesome. I didn't have any of that. Thanksgiving was always like really quiet for us up until like probably like maybe 15, 20 years ago. Like when I was like a super young kid, it was like we would just go to my grandmother's just on my dad's side. And my dad didn't have any siblings. So it was literally like me, my sister, my dad, and my grandmother. And we just sat around and watched football all day. Like no going outside to play football or anything like that. Which I kind of wish I had. I kind of wish my kid had that. We don't have that now either, really. So number 5 for me is actually watching the Macy's Day Parade. Like my wife, I always like give my wife a hard time about putting it on. I'm like, I don't know. I don't really care. But like for some reason, if it's not on, it's weird to me. So just having it on TV while we're doing stuff in the background, getting ready for the day, that means it's like Thanksgiving for me.
Yeah, because I feel like it's really early, right? In the morning.
It's like 9.
It's on your time zone. I think maybe nowadays they play it back to back. They just repeat it for all the people on like the West Coast waking up and stuff. So Yeah, like I was telling Kenny earlier, I'd love to go to it one day just to be there, but
Yeah.
I think you'd be in that spot for so long. I didn't realize you had to do like a ticket thing to get into it, I guess, to an extent, and then you're stuck in a spot, and you never know what the weather's going to be like, and yeah, it would just be a mess and getting in and out of there, I guess, subway and stuff. But
so like, yes, because like the main part where they do all the performances in front of Macy's.
Yeah.
So like those, like not the TV side, but the hard angle side, like those are all like they have like chairs and stuff for that, like little stages, so you got to get tickets for those, right? And I remember telling you off air, it's just like I get offered these tickets all the time, and I literally never went to any of this.
Yeah.
And I've been living in New York for 38 years, and I've never been to one at all.
Like, see, it's all the stuff people like the tourists want to do, and people that live in New York are like, no.
Yeah.
Well, like, that's so like when. No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that's like a nightmare for me. That's way too many people, too close together.
Yeah. See, and I think that's it. You would get there and be like, this is too many people. Just like going to Times Square to watch the ball drop on New Year's. It would just be way too many people.
That.
And then even then, it's at night. It's more the dead of winter. Drunk people, like it would be terrible. But yeah, like when I was a kid, like there was always a parade, like a Christmas parade right around this time, like in the city and stuff. And obviously they still have it and stuff, but as I get older, it's on Saturday, it's hard to go to. But this year, because of COVID and stuff, they didn't have it last year. They're like, well, we're gonna have it this year, but then they called it a static parade, and I was like, what the hell's a static parade? They were just going to set up all the floats and let you go look at them and walk by, but it wasn't going to be going down the street. And people were furious. They're like, that's not a parade, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, all right, well, we just won't have it. And now people are even more pissed.
Oh, my God. Can't win.
Win. Yeah, you're never going to be able to satisfy everybody.
What do you guys got for number 4? Mike, you go first on this one.
Survivor Series. May not watch it on Thanksgiving now. I mean, as a kid, if it played on that day, it's possible would have got it in. But I always find myself before we did these watch-alongs on podcasts and stuff, I'd fire at least one of them up sometime Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday that week, and just kind of added to it. Usually one of the early ones, like fucking Gobbledygooker or something, just to kind of have the nostalgia. But yeah, I always try to throw in a. Because I'm not like, oh, I got to watch Charlie Brown Thanksgiving or something. I'm like, I got to watch a Survivor Series because it's the Thanksgiving Day tradition.
That's right. I didn't even think of that. I don't know how. Because when I
just have a wrestling podcast, no big deal.
When I mentioned my grandmother's house, like that's when we did the 91 one, and I was like, I remember watching this. It was at my grandmother's house on Thanksgiving Eve. Kenny, what's your number 4?
Watching NBA games. On Thanksgiving.
On Thanksgiving, not NFL?
No, I really don't watch like my house. It was mostly all basketball. I didn't really start watching like NFL games until like I got much older.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely NBA has definitely become a more definitely a Christmas day. That's what I do is watch NBA games on Christmas. But yeah, like it's nice to have. Like I like NFL games on Thanksgiving, but having to watch the fucking Lions and the Cowboys, at least now there's like that third or fourth game. It's not just 2 games anymore like it used to be. But yeah, still like some of the games are just hit or miss. Like I wish they would do better with the scheduling because sometimes it's like really bad teams that play. But I guess we don't have. I know it's tradition,
but we don't need the fucking Lions on every year.
Well, that's it. It's usually the game the Lions actually win. They find a way to win their one game a year. It's usually that one, I guess.
That's coming up. Who are they playing?
Crazy? I'm sorry, but I just looked right now to see who's playing for Thanksgiving, and they have no NBA games for Thanksgiving.
I was gonna say, like the NBA to me, I thought like the NBA has Christmas, and then the NFL has.
Yeah, they'll probably load up on that Saturday, Sunday, probably.
Yeah. It's Chicago at Detroit this year for Thanksgiving. That's going to be terrible.
Detroit has a shot of winning.
Yep. Las Vegas at Dallas, and then Buffalo at New Orleans will be a good game. That's the nice
one. Good one. Yeah.
So, for me, number 4 is I know this sounds crazy because we're going to eat a huge dinner later, but like I said, we don't usually eat until later. So I always make a really big breakfast for the family on Thanksgiving morning, and I love doing it. A ton of eggs, ton of bacon, some toast, some hash browns, and fire that all up. So, and then number 3 for you guys. What do you got for your Thanksgiving traditions? Kenny, we'll let you go first this time.
So, all right. So I know we talked like sports and all that stuff. So for me, like a Thanksgiving tradition, like in my house was like we would like prepare. How can I say this in English? They're like it's like it almost like a tamale, but it's not wrapped that way. But we call it pateles, right?
Okay.
So it's like banana grinded, and you wrap it. It has like meat and like raisins. You could put like different stuff in it, right?
Huh.
And you basically like you wrap it up in paper, and then you put it in water and you let it boil, and it cooks it, right? And we call it pateles. And those are like my tradition in my house growing up was you would help to make these things for like Thanksgiving and Christmas, and you would sell it too. Like you can make a pretty good amount of money like selling these things to people who actually know what I'm talking about.
What they are. It's like that coquito. Like
coquito. Yeah, there you go. That's my number 2.
That's every Hispanic person I know, like right around the holidays, they will post coquito up on their Instagram or Facebook, like, hey, I just made some. If you need some, holler at me. Like, we'll get you some. I used to love that shit. When I was drinking, I would love that stuff. Number 3 for me is the night before Thanksgiving. I mean, back in the day, we'd go out and party like everybody else. But now that we're older and we all got kids and stuff like that, we all go to hibachi on the night before Thanksgiving, just to get together, eat, drink, have a couple drinks, and just enjoy each other's company, to say, with friends, and say, that's like our Thanksgiving dinner with friends. We all hit up hibachi. Although obviously last year we couldn't do it. This year, I think we're just doing it, a few of us, like not necessarily like the whole group that normally goes. Nobody's really talked about it, so things are still like kind of weird with COVID. People, you don't know who's willing to do what. So, it's Wednesday night. We'll be at hibachi. How about you, Mike?
I mean, usually that Friday or Saturday is Christmas decorating. Like, I am one of those people who refuse to put up decorations most of the time anyways, but I hate seeing them up before Thanksgiving. Like, that is a post Thanksgiving or December 1st. Like, if there's a nice day, sure, put it up. But yeah, people with lights and trees, like, get that stuff up after Thanksgiving.
We usually do ours like the weekend of Thanksgiving, like the weekend,
right?
The Friday, Saturday, or Sunday.
Yeah, once everything's calmed down, everyone leaves, you get everything cleaned back up. Maybe that next day you get up, you don't have much to do on that Friday.
Yep.
Or Saturday. That's when you do it.
Yep. All right. On to number 2. I'll go first for this one. I haven't gone first yet. Number 2 kind of goes with what you were saying, Kenny, except we don't sell them. We have a family tradition where we make mutton pies. It's Irish. You take lamb meat, some dough, and you put them all together, and then you cook them in lamb broth, and they're amazing. They are definitely like some people, you either love them or you hate them. It's like there's no in between. So the Saturday after Thanksgiving, we get together with family and we do that. That's one of our traditions. We get together for the making. There's only like a limited amount of family that comes to make them. And then the Sunday before Christmas, we have a big family reunion and we eat them. And then we have we have other stuff. If people, we're a big Irish family, so we order pizza and like Italian catering stuff like lasagna and pasta and meatballs and all that stuff for anybody who doesn't want the mutton pies. So that's one of our that's been like a tradition since like my grandmother was my age or whatever. So that's been going on in the family forever. So
you're Irish.
A little bit.
Couldn't tell.
That's my number 2. What do you got for number 2, Mike?
Black Friday shopping.
All right.
Okay.
I've only gone Black Friday shopping once or twice in my life.
One time.
I mean, obviously I don't get to do it in the extent that most people do, especially now. But like, depending on work and stuff, like in the past couple of years, it's kind of worked out because like we'll open at midnight and by like 3 a.m. it dies off. And then from like, if you don't close, if you're open from like 4 to 8 a.m., like I would go on like lunch and go to other places and just kind of walk around, see what was going on. Like I'm not standing in a line to buy a shitty 65-inch TV that has one HDMI port on the back. But just like my mom and my sisters usually all go out and go shopping because they've all got kids and grandkids and shit like that. And I usually meet up with them for a little while, and then they usually have like a Denny's or Shoney's breakfast or something before they go home and crash.
Nice. How about you, Kenny?
What was it number 2? I would say the coquito would be the number 2. Just like going, those are things once again that I sell, with like your family and stuff like that,
You're hustling like buy, sell, trade toys.
Yeah, you listen, the holidays you got to.
You do.
Those are like the 2 things that in a Hispanic culture that we like to sell. And you know what's the crazy thing about it is that non-Hispanic people are the ones that buy it.
Well, of course.
It's true.
Do you ever? Yeah, we go to the Mexican restaurant. You know who's there? The white people.
Yep.
Oh, I love Mexican restaurants.
Like there's a really good Mexican restaurant, right around the corner from my house, right? And they love when like me and my wife go there because they'll talk Spanish to us. Yeah. And like I live in a hippie area, so like it's just all just straight like white hippie people that are there. Sorry, you know what I mean? So it's like they'll go and sit there and like, oh my god, I love this, and then we just look at them and laugh. It was like, okay, like this is easy to make at home. And what's good about it is that they'll buy like they'll buy like cases of it and like store it in their fridge. So that's what mostly how the restaurants like really make their money, because people just buy like all this stuff and store it.
That's you just crazy. Need to buy like one of those carts or a food truck and just quit your job and just spend the day on a corner in New York and just make a fortune off of.
So it's shit. Funny. It's funny that you say that. So you got, like I told you guys off air before, like I'm in the process of moving into my first house.
Yep.
Right. So I told my wife, I said, once we get the house, I want to go into my next project. And she goes, what's that? And I said, a food truck.
Yep.
I love to cook already. So I said, I might as well buy a food truck, get everything set, go to like all these indie shows where people are like sitting there hungry.
Park that shit outside.
Park it outside, do samples, and just get all the business from all these indie shows.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, there's so many people doing it because it's on wheels. You can move it wherever you want. The overhead's pretty low.
Yep.
So if you know what you're doing, especially if you make something like that, that's not like on every food truck. Like some of the ones around here, it's always like the same shit, like burger and chicken tenders, or maybe you get like a burrito or something. But you make something that's like people aren't expecting to see, make a killing that way.
We have a lobster one around here.
Where was I at the other day? Oh, when I was in North Carolina last week, my buddy said there's not a Chick-fil-A in one of the cities nearby. So that they load the truck up. They have like a portable like vehicle they take to like these office buildings like 40 minutes down the road. They pack it with sandwiches and sell out in like 15 minutes.
Look at that.
Damn.
Because people are just like, oh, the closest Chick-fil-A is 30 minutes away. You just pre-make all these sandwiches. You put them in the truck in some kind of something that keeps them warm. Make a killing. You go back and empty the truck.
There you go.
That's awesome.
So,
number 1. What is your number 1 Thanksgiving Day tradition, Mike?
Naps and the lazy boy.
I can relate to that. Mine is eating and doing nothing, watching football. So like last year was a little bit of a whirlwind with hosting and having to actually do shit. I am looking forward so much to this year and just going to my mom's house and sitting in a chair and passing out and putting sweatpants on after we eat and just passing out in the chair and then going home and going to bed.
What is it that's in turkey that like causes you to like fall asleep or something?
Yeah.
What is it?
Tryptophan.
Yeah. So like I always feel like, because like I said, we eat late, and if I go to like a significant other's family's Thanksgiving at like noon or 1 or 2. Then you got like a game in between, and then you do your own family's dinner, and then you're still watching football. Yeah, you just crash when you hit the lazy boy or a couch or something, trying to get through that last football game. And then, like I said, normally I'm going to work at midnight, or if we're not opening at midnight, it's like 5 a.m. So I've got to fit in some sleep somewhere. Otherwise, I'm trying to go the whole day on like nothing. Yeah, it makes for a long day. So, well, a busy day because you're constantly busy, but a long day at the end. So, yeah, try to get that nap in on the lazy boy at some point.
Absolutely. How about you, Kenny?
I like watching action. Like, so my number one is watching action movies with my my wife's uncle. Right.
Okay.
So he doesn't really watch too much TV. Like, he's just more, like he's one of those people they're always outside.
Yep.
Right. So when he gets a chance, like he's like home or whatever, like he'll come over and we'll literally just start watching like all these different action movies on TV, like after football is over. Because like my father-in-law will like go to another room and watch like whatever other games is available, but like he'll sit there in the living room and I'll just sit there with him and watch like 3 or 4 movies like back to back for each other, and then I go home. Like, I'll drive him home and then I'm like, all right, it's time to go to sleep.
You guys, I left it off the list, but the wishbone, is that something you guys did in your family? Like, you got kids, so like, do you let the kids do it? Do you do it at all?
No,
you gotta
used to do it.
You gotta tear the turkey apart to get to it, and it takes time. And I know, like in my family, it was kind of a big deal when I was younger, but there were so many kids, it's hard to pick who gets to do it. So.
Me and my sister used to do it, but I haven't done that in years.
Yeah.
That's it for top 5. That was a good top 5. That was a good suggestion, Mike. We're gonna do Thanksgiving sides, but I think we actually did that last year. So I'm glad you came up with this one. This is a little not unorthodox, but like not common. So that was a good top 5. Let's get into our Sunday football picks, and then we'll wrap things up here. The game this week is the Los Angeles Chargers welcoming Pittsburgh Steelers to SoFi Stadium. Tough one to pick here because the Chargers were doing
hot and
they're
cold,
doing all right, and Pittsburgh I just can't figure out. I think I'm gonna go Pittsburgh though. How about you guys?
I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with the Chargers.
All right. So Kenny says LA. I say Pittsburgh. And how about you, Mike?
Has Roethlisberger came off the list, the COVID list yet?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
It's got to be close. Regardless, I have Eckler and Justin Herbert on my fantasy team, and it's at SoFi, so I'm gonna take the Chargers.
All right. So we'll post our picks. We got an interesting
standings.
Interesting standings at the moment. I'm gonna pull it up. I think DJ is in the lead here.
No, I think we all have the same record except for
me. I have the worst record.
Because DJ picked Raiders last week, so I think we're all tied for first except for Kenny and maybe Zach, or maybe Zach's got the same record also.
Nope, Zach is 6-4 because he picked the Raiders as well. Yeah, and then
7-3.
Kenny's 5-5.
Damn it!
All right, so we'll have to see how it goes this weekend with Pittsburgh and the Chargers. We'll do this real quick and then start wrapping up. What you guys watching this week? What have you guys taken in? Whether it's on Netflix or TV or what are you watching, Mike? We'll start with you.
Well, it just dropped, so I'll start watching it this week. Is the HBO Hard Knocks this year is Indianapolis Colts. So, and of course, like some high expectations or semi-high expectations to start the season, and then not the greatest start. And now they've dug themselves out of that. We'll see where the season goes, but that should be pretty entertaining. man, I really haven't had time to watch a lot of stuff on TV outside of wrestling and football lately.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in North Carolina for the charity stream, but before and after, we watched like Bob's Burgers was on TV a lot, and I've never sat down and watched that show. And now I'm going to end up watching it from the beginning because it's got so much adult humor in it. And I think they're all on Hulu, so
that's
a
awesome.
more older show that I'm going to end up going through. And then and Secession, which is on HBO, I'm staying pretty steady with that. If you like good like adult drama there. And then Dexter just started. Haven't watched it yet. I'm going to wait for like 3 or 4 episodes maybe to bank before I jump in, so I don't have to watch it week to week.
Nice. How about you, Kenny?
I'm watching this show on Netflix called Gentrified.
Okay.
They're like 2 seasons in. I just started watching that. It's about a Mexican family from LA that they're trying to like save their restaurant. It's like different little stories in between so far, but like the main focus is trying to get their restaurant back to the way that they had it. And then you kind of like, they introduce every single character. So you kind of just like, you kind of invested in each one and wonder like what's going to happen to each of them as the season goes on so far. It's like the first season is like 10 episodes. I'm not too sure what season 2 is bringing.
Gotcha. I mentioned this on our watch along. I was watching some other old Survivor Series. I watched 92. Obviously, I watched 91 as part of the watch along, and then I also watched the Tom Brady special that is on ESPN Plus. It's in the arena. I started it and I fell asleep in the middle of it, so I got to go back and watch it again. And then
you call yourself a Brady fan?
Yeah. I mean, it is exhausting being that turned on. So,
when you guys watch Monday Night Football, are you watching the regular broadcast or are you watching the Manning podcast or broadcast?
You know, this week I actually said to myself, I need to watch the Manning one because
it's so good.
I've heard nothing but good things. But like out of habit, I just go to the regular ESPN channel. Like I just forget about it.
Yeah. See, on my TV, it's one channel apart. It's not like one of those things where you got to find the channel or whatever. But yeah, I mean, like just their knowledge and stuff, and then obviously being able to call plays. It's a lot like watching like the games where Romo calls it. He knows what's coming and stuff. But they have guests on, and then they just, of course, being brothers, they give each other shit back and forth and stuff. So far, it's been really entertaining. The funny thing is they've had, I think this was the 7th one, and the first 6, they all had an active player on the episode, and every active player that's been on has lost the following week. So now they're saying there's a curse for appearing on the show.
Exactly. You got to keep them away.
Yeah, it's really funny. like Brady was on there, and the next week they lost. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I finally watched episode 1 of Squid Game.
Nice.
So, taking a jumping down that slippery slope. We'll see
how that goes. It's on the list. I'll get to it.
Yep, exactly. All right, guys, that is it for this week's episode of the Run-In Podcast. Let's run through our shout outs here. Of course, he's on the show. You got to go check out Kenny's YouTube channel. Check out his show at DACALLUP, DACALLUP. What's coming up on the call up, Kenny?
Still doing more streams. Have a Survivor Series prediction show tomorrow, so it'll drop on Friday, and then just working on a couple of interviews. Don't want to say right now because I just don't want to jinx it, but there's a couple coming before, at least before Christmas.
Nice. Awesome. Love watching your stuff on the YouTube. What's the YouTube channel? What's like the direct link?
It's just the same thing. YouTube.com/DACALLUP.
Gotcha. Anything to shout out, Mike? I know you just did that charity stream. Anything else you want to shout out?
No, that's really it. I mean, we had a good time on that. I appreciate it. Everybody that donated and shared and clicked on the links and stuff. So we raised a good amount of money. So
Nice.
Do it again next year, and I'll be reaching out trying to harass you guys for donations again. So,
speaking of Josh Blevins, if you're listening, you never claimed your shirt for donating. So do that.
I'll take it.
Do that. Yeah. Speaking of shirts, buy one during the Black Friday sale. ProWrestlingTees.com/The Run-In Podcast. Again,
on that hoodie.
That's right. 2 hoodies up there, 2 zip-up hoodies, a bunch of new shirts. Grab them. And then make sure you check out Phil's podcast, the Fig Cave Podcast. He's got a deal over at Collar and Elbow. I'm sure they'll have some kind of Black Friday sale, but you can get 10% off using the code CAVE with him. Figure Collections, of course, we've mentioned it 100 times. Just go to figurecollections.com, check out his site, and then check out his eBay store. Check out his Big Cartel store where he's got all the Chella Retros. Homage, you can save 15% over at Homage. I'm sure they're going to have a Black Friday sale. It is the Run-In 15. Buy, sell, trade toys. You can save 10%. We're using the code RUN10. Barrios Toys, Faces and Heels podcasts. Best Batch Promotions. They are bringing Dan Housen and Rachel Ellering to town. They're going to be doing a signing at Heroes Hideout in Holyoke, Mass, December 4th. Make sure you get tickets for that if you're in the area. Blitzkrieg Pro. Make sure you check out the Dos Padres podcast. I was just on that last week talking fantasy football. WrestleGeddon podcast, Coming Down the Aisle podcast, Dirty Heels podcast, Turnbuckle Tavern. And you can check out Keystone Collectibles. Use their the code RUN10 for 10% off there. And speaking of Heroes Hideout, we still got our code over there, heroeshideout.com. Use the code RUN_IN for 10% off. Kenny, you want to tell everybody where they can follow you on Twitter and Instagram?
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Same name, DACALLUP. And then just catch me on YouTube every Monday, Wednesday. I didn't do it this Wednesday, and Fridays.
All right. And Mike, where can they find you out in the world of social media? You're very active out there.
Am I? Yeah. I think it's just Mike Lanham. If you send a follow request, unless you're following the Run-In, DACALLUP, and the Fig Cave, I'll probably block you. So make sure you're following people I know. Otherwise, I don't.
He's like, "Who are you?
Who are you? Who are you, bot? Why are you trying to sell me some kind of sex pill or something?"
He's like Keanu Reeves and John Wick.
The Matrix next month. I'm ready.
Oh, that's right. You can follow us. You can go to runinpod.com. YouTube is youtube.com/the Run-In Podcast. And on Twitter, we are at Run-In Podcast. Instagram is at the Run-In Pod. We are on Twitch as well, which we probably need to use again sometime soon.
Yeah, I honestly was going to sign in the other day and play something, and things got fucked up. But I may try to do that.
Yeah, I
sooner than later.
I need to sign into mine too and do the same thing.
My kid keeps going, can I go on Twitch and play? Like, he's playing like NHL 22. He's like, can I go on Twitch and play? And I'm like, I don't know. Not while I'm not around. I don't know what's going on, but maybe I'll
turn off the audio, but he would still have the chat to the side. So
right, yeah, maybe I'll let him do it and see what happens. Maybe
wouldn't really see it if he's doing it through the PlayStation.
Yeah,
for the most part.
Right.
Well, at least I know that your son uses the Twitch sometimes. So if I ever see a game and you met, like if I see somebody messing up, I'm gonna like watch my mouth because I do tend to curse. You know, all you need for me to drop an F-bomb and your son just looks like, oh my god, dad, some guy he just told me I'm playing like shit. Go fuck myself.
Go fuck yourself.
All right. Hopefully DJ is still alive. My name is Tommy Paradise. That is Kenny and Mike Lanham. Thank you guys so much for jumping in and filling in for us. This has been episode 74 of the Run-In Podcast. Good night.